Welcome back to Black Outrage. We're at number 45. It looked like I said 46, but hey, we're rocking out today. I appreciate everybody who get a chance to come over here and check us out at the channel. We talking about this lady right here behind me. She's pretty to me, I'm not gonna lie. She's cute, she's very cute. And I appreciate what she's talking about today. She got a crazy podcast that's going on with a bunch of folks that she got into a communication with. It looked like some kind of seminar or some kind of thing that they was doing. So I thought like this would be a good show for a Black Outrage show. So I said, let's dig deeper into this conversation and see what we can come up with as creators, excuse me, and people who are into our little worlds. Let's see what the heck going on because Amanda Seals, I think she had a TV show if I'm not mistaken, because I think she like focuses on females or she used to. I'm not the exact person to know everything about her, but I do know that she knows that she's black and she keep it black and she black. Okay, that's cool that's cool enough for me and my taste buds at least. So we can kind of get to her content, but in the meantime, let me do a little setups because we got to do a couple of little things along the way as we get started. So as you make it over to the channel, I appreciate you. You can let me know what y'all got going on today and everything like that. But Amanda Seals is the girl that is we talking about today, and her current scenario with some people that she's in a communication with. You know what I'm saying? So first things first, let me put my poll up there. I'm saying it's not Amanda. No, I think the other girl was Ananda, so I think this should be Amanda Seals. I hope I got it right. If I don't, I'm gonna change it. Let's just look it up right now. Is it Amanda Seals or Ananda Seals? Actually, she's right here. Which one is it? It's Amanda. Okay, got it right. So anyway, as we talk about her situation with talking to these people, she's talking to conservatives. Let me just finish. Oh God, come on, guys. You can't write this ahead of time. You got to do it actually at the show time. So now let me see. Yeah, it told me I was live already. All right, so we got that. Is Amanda Seals right for being radical? And you guys going to know and learn more about what radical is and what she actually means by saying she's radical. But that's what she claims to be, a radical black person, and she also explains what being a radical black person is. So I'll let her exactly explain it. But as our stuff goes over here at Hood Films and Black Outrage, this is our brand, and my shirts is really my brand company, which is Hood Films, and you can get these tagged in the comments and all that stuff, and you'll be able to have a chance to support us and show some love to us because we have to put these shows together and do it just for you, and that's what we love to do, matter of fact. So and let me just put the last thing together over here as that goes together, and here, no, I think it's up here. It's up here. All right. Is that it? It's a, oh, wait a minute. Where's the button at? Look like they moved my damn button. Okay, so I don't have that button up there no more. So am I supposed to change it or something? Live chat ticket, maybe. Okay, I don't know how it works. But anyway, let's get to the content. So this is actually Amanda Seals having a conversation with black conservatives. So we're going to have a deep dive into this conversation. So let's get to the content. Let me see if you can see everything. Let's make sure you guys can see everything. It's a little quirky on the seeing thing right now. Let's see how good I can get it. I'm going to get the visuals as best I can. You see her right there in the middle. Let's see. Black culture is time. Okay, I see what's going on. I got to change my background. Let's get my background switched up to something else because actually I like her being in the background, but you can't see it that way either. Just give me a second, guys. We're just saying if we could see it with the green screen. It don't look like we're gonna have a green screen though.
Let's get on the fact there's no fathers. So white culture. Let's stop. You're talking to a radical, not a Democrat. The radical mind state simply is living opposite to our colonizers, which is an imperialist, capitalist mind state, and radical blacks do not believe that that is any way for us to have liberation. Well, here's what you all keep doing.
What's good on the trap? What's good, boy? How you feeling, man? We doing it again. We got this girl, Amanda Seals. She got a situation where she has some black conservatives talking with them, And everything she went through with these people is kind of fun and funny. So we're going to kind of talk about it because you get to see other people's mindsets when it comes to blackness. And I thought this was crazy because, again, how else would we know how these people think unless somebody put a thing together? Because you would think, everybody black like me, we all think the same accordingly. It's not like that. So let's get right to the content. Oh, what's going on with my audio? I must have hit the mute.
The point, and yet you want me to respect your point, and that's not how a debate works. So I show you respect, give me the respect back. Ooh, I knew I was gonna be surrounded by ignorance, but damn, let's go. Greetings, I am Amanda Seals, widely known as a comedian, an actress, a disruptor, an annoying person on the internet who always tells the truth, and I am now an artistic intellectual who commits myself to making art that educates. And today,
all right, now you get straight to it.
If you want to learn how to
All right, we gotta let them talk their stuff because this is gonna be a
edit
long
really well from professional Hollywood
Shut
editors.
up, dude. So anyway, but that's basically the conversation that she got going on, and the green screen don't work that well on this particular show. It will, but let's just get to the conversation. I hit the mute.
And we need proper education. A lot of us go to these institutions where we're not really prepared, we're not really focused, and we don't get things that'll help us in the real world. So if you want to help black people, a check from the government, from our tax dollars is going to get raised because, let's be clear, everybody in here is black. We all American, we all got to pay taxes. It'll go to that. So I don't really see how this is going to help us at all.
Okay. Well, first I'll start with it will help on even just a moral level. The reality is that the United States has become very comfortable with the fact that it does not consider black people equal, and it shows that in many ways that I'm sure we will discuss over the course of today. But ultimately, there has not been a committed, concerted effort to shifting the mindset around the use of black people as a labor force in this nation back when it was slavery, now in the use of slavery as slave labor in prisons. So on a basic cultural level, reparations are an act of repair. They're an effort to say, our bad, we see you now. We have seen that done with Japanese folks who were put in internment camps.
Yo, real quick though, and the funny thing about it is that these people are gonna get so pissed off at her about reparations and what she's saying, and that to me is like, this is the reason why I had to do this show, because I couldn't believe that people was talking like this. I was like, damn, I thought black people thought the same way, or at least understood the same thing. And it takes somebody like Amanda Seals to actually bring awareness to these type of mindsets that exist, because a lot of times, and I know it's like it's almost like being held captive so long that you start feeling more pain for the people who holding you captive. You start thinking like, man, it take them a lot of work to have to come all the way down here to bring me food. It take them a whole lot of work or the pain for them to have to go ahead and help me or give me clothes or go help me. You can't see yourself as being a victim or being a person that they're exacting something on. You just see yourself as, man, just all of them, they just working so hard. You can't see yourself. And that's what these black people are. They've been so entrenched in whiteness in their life, they only think that happiness and comfort and good living should be from white people. Anybody else should have a work ethic and all these other words, but if it comes with just comfort and living good and not having no much stress, then that should only be white people's kind of reality. But beyond listening to me, I'm gonna let them explain it themselves so you can hear it directly from them. So hit the like button, holler at us in the poll, and let's get back to the conversation. All right, let me hit that cam, let old boy explain himself, because he sounds like a straight clown to me, but let's go.
That's what I wanted to say.
Well, Democrats are not doing reparations either. This is nonpartisan. This is black partisan, baby. Okay?
Well,
this is nonpartisan.
Who do we vote for? Who do we vote for 90% of the time? There's no incentive.
To be quite honest, you're not talking to a Democrat. You're talking to a radical.
Okay, but
Let's land this plane very quickly.
Who do we vote for?
Let's land this plane quickly.
Who do
You're
we vote
talking
for?
to a radical, not a Democrat.
Okay, and you are your own person.
Let me tell you something now. I don't know what they told you, but if they told you that cutting me off is how we're going to get clicks, stop it now.
Oh, no.
That's not how we're going to. That's not how we're going to
We having a debate.
A debate does not require continuously cutting somebody off.
Okay, no problem.
Now, I do want to state this. You're stating things as it relates to how money is not fixing a problem, without acknowledging the fact that the problem doesn't exist in a vacuum, and that there are so many other factors that are determining how that money is getting spent to impede it from actually fixing a problem. You can put all the money into Baltimore public schools you want, but if you are also putting all this money into policing, into communities that are not getting resources, then you are also creating your own conundrum. The other part of this is that when you're saying they,
So that point that she making right there is so factual. So yeah, okay, well the neighborhoods haven't got money and all that, but obviously if they stop the people from having big bougie mansions in the hood, and where they put crack, drugs, and guns in the neighborhood that make it susceptible through your music or through your own personal choice, then your neighborhood is not going to be looking like somebody's neighborhood. But why would he want to leave his neighborhood and go move into the white neighborhood and then point back at the black neighborhood talking about what it's like? You're supposed to go down there and talk to the shorties and be like, look, I'm gonna round y'all up, 3 or 4 of y'all. I'm gonna take y'all through the trajectory that I did to get out the hood. It's stupid to be some middle-aged dude and then all you doing is pointing back to the neighborhood, talking about blackness and what it looked like. Because all that happened to people like them, and this is a fact, is the white people who he lives around, they turn on him one day. It might not be today. It might be 20 years in the future. It might be something minute. It might be somebody kid who feel like he could do skateboarding on your damn porch. And you keep saying, no, what the hell you, and then they looking at you like, what the fuck is your problem? Let Tony, this is his kid. I don't want nobody to skate him. You don't have a choice to make a decision like that. And if it's something basic like that, but then the whole place turn on your ass. The homeowner association hitting you with bills and fees. They won't come do the water ducts. You fuck shit backing up at your house and they won't show up to fix it. And you sitting back like, what the first thing you gonna say in your mind? Man, it's racist as hell out here. But you left and you keep thinking that only bullshit happens in the black neighborhood. It can't happen where you at because the white people you around, they democratic. They think like all of us. They think we should be together. But when it comes to moving your people or your space forward, everybody in the democratic bloc turn their neck. They turn their head away. They actually tell you about abortion. They tell you about immigration. They tell you about everything, but anything that you got going on. But I don't think these black people see it. So that's why a show like this is important, because you can actually dig into their conversation, their brains. Yo, hit the like button, show some love. Hit the like button, show some love. We got new stuff popping over here. We appreciate you guys. I do got new music coming out, but we're going to stick to the story right now. My new joint is on the way. It's called Hip Hop Blues. You're going to hear that. It's under my rap name called Youssef 2 times. You can follow that channel too. All right, let's get back to her talking this smack to these goofies. See what they got to say.
you know, they is a broad context. And the last part of this that I will say, that you keep saying they're dangling this in our face, they're dangling in this our face. Slavery lasted for 400 years. It hasn't even been 400 years since slavery. So should we be only fighting for a quarter of the time to get repair?
All right, I'm so sorry. You've been voted out by the majority.
Now I want to stop it right there because she asked a really poignant question. But if you notice, a white voice came behind that. It was a white lady voice. Okay, it's time for you to get up and all that. Okay. So they cut that. They didn't give a guy a chance to answer that. And I know you can't see the show, but he's the oldest man in the room. Everybody else is in their 20s. Maybe somebody 30. But they didn't want him to answer that because they're trying to be like, this particular show is trying to be like the people answering the questions have hostility towards her because she might have a bad, I don't know, kind of, internet world, internet life or some shit like that. But the conversation that they're having need to be had, and they need to be had by exactly every person in the room. But they still trying to make it more like Amanda's a bad person and she's a tough, oh my God, and it's like, come on, let's get to the conversation, because the conversation is what the fuck we're here for. But as she claims that she's a radical, I'm gonna read what it say at the top of their comments, which is what Amanda says. This must be her channel, and she got 10 million followers on this channel. But no, this might not be her channel because it's just something that they pin. It's her face on her own channel. It says the Amanda Seals channel. So it said a black radical is someone who within their life and livelihood opposes, educates, and organizes against imperialism, capitalism, and colonialism, while uplifting art as education, collective liberation, and protection of laborers in their labor from exploitation by the ruling class. It is a stance that refuses assimilation into white supremacist frameworks as a method of protection or equality. This framework aligns with that of radicals from other ethnic groups and races, fostering connectivity for a coalition building. Some U.S. black radicals of note have been Michael Malcolm X, the Black Panthers, June Jordan, Angela Davis, Paula Roberts. But then she named about 50 more names. You know what I'm saying? Some other takes part in the other world, like Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba, Frantz Fanon, Wendy Mandela. So basically, she's saying the people that don't want to fit in with white America, not trying to assimilate, not trying to kick it with white America. And here's the funny part about that type of point, because would it been 38 million black people, 43 million black people, it's crazy to believe that black people don't want to fit in with white America or don't want to segregate inside white America. That's dumb. What it is white America is only one thing. So all of us can't fit inside there. You got black people who might be too loud. You might black people who might be too whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever their thing is, and it's just not gonna fit in with a bunch of white folks somewhere. I mean, and I think that should be okay, because even if in the city we're from, the Chinatown is separated from white folks. It's just China people and Chinese people in that section. So it's not like they all of them living on every floor in apartment buildings, or every person walking on the sidewalk got to go downtown and start trying to mingle with Caucasians. It's not like that. You can live in Chinatown from the time you make it to this country till you die. So it's not like you have to stop being in Chinatown and every once a month and be like, okay, we all got to go downtown and stand around the white people. You don't have to do that. So to think that black people have to get a certain age or get a certain job or get a certain education, and now I mean that it's nothing else you can do in life but go stand around white people at their job, at their company, in their business, in their stump, in it. And in our culture, that's a big thing. Most people look at you as a bum or not smart or not really cool if you can't work for white people. Like if you don't have a job under Caucasianism, or white people don't own it, or white people aren't the one in control of it, you're not really gonna have a lot of black people that fuck with you. You have to have Caucasians fuck with you in some connection, whether it's through your music and they give you a deal, whether it's through a contract through your business, whether it's through a fucking school that you teach at or something. They have to be connected with you. Being a monolith in a black community or a radical, like she's saying, does not really exist, because white people have to be involved in some capacity, in a large capacity. If you want to pay a rent, your light bill, your kids, you want to go on trips, you want to fucking, it has to be that. They actually have to pay for it. You understand what I'm saying? Their entities have to be behind it. And it's not that you want it like that. It's that they control the fucking entities. This is their shit. You understand what I'm saying? Let me read what Steve O'Stoner got to say. Steve O'Stoner in the building, showing love to us. Appreciate his new album. Y'all should rock with Steve O'Stoner too. He got a new album. It's called Revolutionary Stoner. It's dope as hell. It's on all the platforms. I rock with it heavy. You're going to rock with it as well. And make sure you do the voting too, guys. I see more votes coming in. We got a lot of poll votes coming in. We appreciate the poll votes. Keep the poll votes coming. Also be a part of the YouTube membership, where we give you all our videos ahead of time. We break these videos down and they hit your phone every hour throughout the week, throughout the day. You're going to be like, bing, 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 goddamn, this another Hood Films? Whoa, shit, okay. We go crazy with the content. And also our shirts are available. You can shop with us. It's at walmart.com. They ship it to you. You're going to love it. Hood Films. Get up with us. All right, so Steve O'Stoner said, I believe we want to do our thing inside this country without being sabotaged. Yeah, that's true. And Brian and Liz said, I'm radical and fuck radical conservatives. My man, I'm with you with that, bro. Steve O'Stoner said, Oklahoma have over 50 independent black towns like Black Wall Street, but they all talk about it in Greenwood District because they wanted you to remember how they destroyed it. Yeah, it's like a lot of people, black and Indians, was collabing and shit down there and in that part of the world. And everybody knew that, but obviously you still got to go through, white people as far as them accepting the thing. Because if they turn against you or get mad, they destroy it. And that's really what happened to those locations. They got annihilated because it just didn't look right for some folks. They didn't fuck with it. And those places got annihilated. But let's get back to the message and shit. Is it still playing? Okay, here it is right here. I stopped it. But I want to let them talk further, because I want to give more context to the conversation. She's talking to different people that come sit down. They get a certain amount of time just to come speak, and then you get to see how they think. And that's why I thought this was funny, because when you see how these people think, it'll give you an idea of what's going on in the world. So this next person talking is like some 20-year-old person. But we got to get past this little silly commercial real quick, and then we right back to the content. So hit the like button, share the message, y'all. We appreciate the Black Outrage 45. We rocking over here, keeping it going. All right, here go the message. Let's go. Hit this mic. Okay, hold up.
People that are in the streets.
All right, let's get to it.
Order of the time to get repair.
All right, I'm so sorry. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seat.
Okay. Now for the black community would be the stopping of violence, especially black on black violence. I don't see how reparations is going to solve anything. You can give everyone here like a $50,000 check, especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently. A $50,000 check, it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% or 20%. For example, we have the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible? How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that black people kill each other, according to the FBI?
Oh, young Matt.
Yeah, white people are the oppressors.
I'm not sure where your education came from, but they lied to you.
Stats don't lie, though.
Statistics lie all the time. So let's start there, particularly when the statistics are coming from the sources that gain from the statistics being shown a different way. So if you're going to start your argument on stats don't lie, you've already lost the argument. They lie all the time. One, comparing Chinese people who are immigrants that made a choice to come to the United States and comparing the continued effort of black people to ground themselves in a nation that continues to make impediments for them to show and live and exist in their true citizenship is a false equivalency.
I don't believe that happens at all. No one here is in.
Are you acting right now? Do you really believe
I'm telling
this?
the truth. There's no systemic racism that I've experienced here in America.
So along with all the stuff that the guy is saying, even though he's like early 20s, he's completely dumb. I mean, if you've ever seen somebody who's living in a fucking bubble of dumbness, it's crazy. And I remember even, and I'm gonna just go back real quick because what's up, Gio? I'm gonna go back real quick and to my own personal life, because when I was his age, he looked like he's about 22. Let's say he's 25, but let's say he's 19 or 18. All of those time frames from 25 to fucking 18 and even before, back down to like 14 and 13, when I was coming up, every fucking rap song was about blackness. I wouldn't give a fuck what it was about. Every single song was about blackness. It might not have been every single rap, every single lyric, but it would be something where dude breaking down black shit, where he talking about being a black man, where he talking about black women. Every song was like that. It would be about all kind of stuff. I mean, even, I think one of them would be about Jimmy, like the fucking condoms. Even still, they would come back around and talk about the blackness. That's what skipped out of the music. Because why? White people came in, they owned it, they started buying up BET, they started buying up all these record companies and shit, and they pushed those guys out because they really just wanted the money. The hustle is this. If I can make you want the money, your desire will make you give up everything, even yourself. Even you'll give yourself up off of your desire. And then when you get the money and you realize money is not valuable, money can only buy you shit. And the shit that you can buy is only what white people make. So you're basically in a sick cycle. You're never ever going to leave the cycle. You're just going to get more money to go buy more shit that white people make to go drag it to your house. You're a fucking ant. You basically go to get Me Too. Let's be clear this. Me Too. We basically go get big ass islands and drag it. Who else does that? You can look down at any point and see a fucking ant dragging a big ass bush. Fucking 3-4 times bigger than him. And you looking at this shit like, what the fuck he doing? And if you follow that ant, he building his fucking crib. But we don't build our cribs with that shit. We just fucking go look at it and stare at it and then walk away from it and the fucking dust build up on the bitch. Or we start drying clothes on it. That's what I do. I go get the shirt and I be like, well, let's pop this on that motherfucker and in about 3 days it'll be dry. We don't look at it like that. But that's exactly what we doing. We living like ants. We go get shit that's heavy. How many times you went and got a big ass TV and you needed somebody to carry it in the house? Or you got another couch and you need 3 people to bring it up in the crib. We're just dragging shit back to our cribs. It's nothing wrong with it. It's just if you pay attention to it, that's all really money is doing for us. It's just making us buy things and bring it back home. That's nothing wrong with it. That's what the world is. But is that all the world is? So if money is the only thing that can get you going because you're just going to fucking consume and go buy something, well, it's easy for me to trick you. I can just give you money. I can just make you think you so fucking powerful because you have buying power, which is money consuming. And ain't nothing big in consumption. There's nothing powerful in consuming. It's only the power is in the seller, the person who's pitching it, who's putting it out. So if they can convince us to do that, then you can be delusional about everything else around you. Because ultimately, all you want to do is consume. You want to go buy some shit. You've seen it. It's a big ass yacht. It's a big ass TV. It's a big ass this, that, and the third. You got to go get it. Nothing wrong with it. Go get it. But then what does that fulfill? Nothing. You got to get another one now. Another through. Another this. Another that. So, but when everything else is moving around, you ain't built shit. You follow that fucking ant. He built the house. He's gonna sustain all winter. You follow us. We gotta go out again. Black Friday, go buy some more shit. We still ain't satisfied. We got drag some more shit back to the crib. But this is what we actually are training ourselves to do. So anything could be slapped over your face because you ain't looking at shit. You just kind of can't wait to go sell. Come and go buy some shit. So the music of teaching you who you were, the music of explaining to you your history before you even knew what the fuck you was. All you was doing is taking a pee and then walking outside. Now somebody gonna give you some information, but it's through melody, fun. Everybody listening to it, we having fun. We didn't know music was gonna change. You're not that privy to the future. You don't know what the fuck is gonna happen. You just listening to music, having fun. But we all saw the trajectory change. It got more gangster, got more killer. Now it's more whatever the fuck. And it was music like that too. But it wasn't highlighted so much. It was music like that too. Don't get me wrong. You had Coogee rap. You had guys that was making rhymes that just wasn't. You had Too Short. You had Top Authority. It was artists that just wasn't making black music. But that was, again, it was called underground rap. So you wasn't hearing it like that. You was, but the Black Power shit, that shit was on fucking TV. I'm telling you right now, it's just like you looking at your phone. You could look at music videos about all kind of black shit on TV. X Clan, all kind of black history shit. It was just so much. It was crazy. It was just all. You just didn't think it was going to end. It was just so many artists just droning out, and then it stopped. And then that music is what we got today. And what happened is after that change happened, because I remember being like maybe like 22, like this kid age. It's the perfect time frame. I remember being his age, and the rappers that was in my youth, that was niggas. They was the big time rappers like Public Enemy, Big Daddy Kane, KRS One. They were still trying to rap. But it was always like, you 22 now, you like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, what this? Why is this nigga still? Because they started changing the sound now. So now you're not trying to hear, I'm black, I'm black, and then the black. That was changing. You know, they was doing parody movies of it. You know, CB4, all this shit was like kind of comical about being a black man. Everything is the black and the black power and Farrakhan. They made jokes out of it. So it was kind of like, that's the old. We moved on from that. Now we got into the gangster rap thing and hip hop the way it is today. But that's why this guy's confused because nobody has told him anything. He's got everything from TV, cell phone shit, people like Viacom, people that white people own the major corporation, and then a person you see in front of somebody like fucking Free and AJ or whoever hell, the black person that they hire in front, that's who you actually look at. So as far as you're concerned, it's black. But they get a sheet of paper with their fucking information on everything they got to talk about. And anything they miss, they telling them, you ain't getting paid next Friday. We taking it off your bank. Make sure you talk about everything on this fucking paper. You're like, okay, damn. And they got to go in there and read that just like a job. So it's not owned by you. You don't. He don't even have knowledge. And when I was young, to listen to that music I'm talking about is because now you can go to school and tell motherfuckers like this would be the biggest trick. So now you 14, 15, you're in high school, and motherfuckers would come in and say, hey, did you hear the rap that this rapper said? Whoever the rapper was, and maybe you didn't hear it because it had to be on underground radio stations and shit in order to even hear it. And then you didn't hear it, and they'd be like, "Man, he said," and this, and then the black man, the black. You were like, "Damn, I missed that." Okay, I gotta go now and go find me some shit that nobody else heard, and then I gotta come and be like, "Hey, did you hear what what's the name said? Like, what the fuck he said?" And he said, "Man, the brother," and the motherfucker's like, "Damn, straight up, I gotta go find it." And that was like the little teenager thing of fun that we had, like finding the unique words that somebody said in a rap, and then you was able to go run it back to your bros or whatever. So that's gone. You know, it's almost like I don't know what the raps is today because I don't listen to it so much because it's like way different from my era. But it's not the same. That's why he's so confused. Like, what? Well, if you was 15, 16, 17, your mama would have been telling you, man, that rap shit ain't gonna go nowhere. Cut that rap shit off. That's some bullshit music. It's not gonna last. You need to be listening to some real singers, some real artists that rap what they doing talking. But obviously they was wrong. Rap is still fucking here today to extents where it control people's minds, like the people, youngsters, little kids listening to it. So they was telling us the wrong thing because now that shit is here to stay. So I'm just had to break all that down to y'all for the first 30 minutes of this thing. We're gonna do a quick commercial real quick, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna rock out with more Amanda Seals and this information. And we got the poll going crazy. I see the poll rocking hard. So let's just do like a little 1 minute, a little break, and I'll be right back with more content. Let's go. All right, we are back, but I gotta put my mic. So we back, man, and the poll has in. The poll has came in. A lot of people are voting in the poll directions over here. I appreciate that. What's up, Ben West? Say so. All of us are ants. Then Tyrone said, "What's good?" He said, "What the hell?" Too. He trying to figure this out. Tyrone trying to figure this out. All right, y'all. You see the shirts right here, Hood Film shirts. We got your size. Go ahead, order one. Hook us up. Do a super chat, super thanks, all the good stuff. I hope did I put the other stuff up? I was trying to do something earlier, but I couldn't find it. It's like what the hell. But anyway, yeah, I couldn't find it. It looked like they moved that button. So let's get back to the show and see what the hell is going on Amanda Seals' show. She talking to a group of people, what they call themselves black conservatives. I'm sorry, they call themselves black conservatives. And you probably heard of people talking like this and all this shit. So let's actually see. Damn, I said I was going to look at the polls. I'm sorry. Let's just do that real quick. I just looked at the polls again, and we had a 64% says yes. Is Amanda Seals right for being radical? And I thought that was going to be a no. That's crazy as fuck. You just don't be knowing. That's why you have to ask the people and see what they say, because I really did believe when I was writing that, I said, that's going to be a no. And everybody said, yeah, she is right. So we got some people in here with the right mindset, and I appreciate y'all coming over here. See, that's why you got to have a Black Outrage show, because the right people actually come to rock out and talk about it and listen to it. And I appreciate y'all for coming over to the show. So hit the like button, show love, do the poll, and now we right back. Let me cut this AC off too, because that's going to make the sound a little loud. And we're going right back to it. Let her talk her shit. She talking her shit today, y'all. Let's get Amanda Seals her props. Let's go.
What system is racist? I think the only racism we've actually seen recently, systemic racism we've seen, is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Washington, for example, has been trying to segregate dormitories, using black-only dormitories, because black people feel safer amongst each other. But they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them. That's just the truth. You have King Von rapping about killing other black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor when black men are more likely to kill me?
Oh my God, this is scary. You need to think about me as your mama. Do not talk to me in that fashion. So let's check that now. Okay? So on a basic level, we have to understand that systemic racism is grounded in the realities that black people have not been considered an equal human being in this country since its onset. So there's simply no way to make the argument that there isn't systemic racism, and we have seen in very clear ways the system operate in an organically racist way. Do not cut me off. When we talk about systemic racism, we can start with even the fact that redlining, which was implemented to discriminate black communities. Are you shaking your head that redlining doesn't exist?
No, I'm saying I don't think it really existed at all. I mean, no, I don't think so at all.
So it does exist, and stating that it doesn't exist doesn't make it no longer exist. Redlining absolutely exists. It is not a It is not something that's being made up. It's an empirical fact. And there are realities that exist because of redlining. We know that school systems are related to the way that property taxes are affecting the school systems. If a school system is not getting the same property value as the property taxes allow it, then it's not going to have the same efficacy at allowing for students to be able to get what they deserve. When we talk about systemic racism, we have to acknowledge that these private prisons are literally built based on the test scores of school student third grade.
So let's again, let's give her props, because within 72 seconds, she just gave this guy 4 intricate points that you would know if somebody was giving you this conversation. See, again, at the barbershop, your big homie, somebody that's a little bit more astute on who you are. That don't mean you can't be what you are, who you are, but you have to be a little bit more knowledgeable than that. You can't be that stupid. Rob Bass, what's good, bro? That's bro from the ground, from growing up, man. Well, I appreciate you, bro. What's good, bro? Definitely enjoying the content. Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, we try to go crazy over here on Black Outrage. You see the shirts, Hood Films. We're going crazy. Steve O. Stoner, that's the bro again. Remember his album called Revolutionary Stoner, Spotify, all that. You're gonna love it. It's called This Young Man is Misinformed, and it's true. He said, where's his family from? I think they saying these people are from LA, but a lot of times when you in LA, you can actor or somebody trying to, you don't have to necessarily be from LA. That's one of those towns like that. And who is his parents? And check his lineage. Right, there you go, check his lineage. But he probably is Black America. Again, it's knowledge. When we was, again, in the 80s and 90s, and since y'all on here, you going back with me. It was. I was telling you about in high school, right? We talk all this shit about, yeah, I found this out in this rap. Oh, well, guess what? This Big Daddy Kane said this, or this guy said that. And it's so funny too, because it was extreme gangbanging when I was in high school. So along with extreme gangbanging was also this. So not only was it this knowledge of blackness, it was also knowledge of gang shit. You literally had to be so fucking smart about both of them. Then school. So you also had to be triple threaded. This is back in the day when you was young. Then you had to be street smart. Then you had to be girl smart. It's a lot of smarts you had to have just walking around the fucking city in the world. And, you wasn't in the crib like that. It was no in the house shit. You was always on the outside of the crib. So when you hear somebody saying that he didn't understand these things, when we was young, it was a word, they call it knowledge of self. So that came down from New York and through religion. So you start hearing knowledge of self. So you want to have it. So it wasn't something that was over there. It was something that other people said they had. So now you like knowledge of self. Well, shit, I want knowledge of self. And it was coming through the music. Again, it wasn't like you had to go to the store or you had to go spend a night at somebody's house. It was just play different songs, different music. Poor Righteous Teachers was doing it. Kwame was doing it. It was different artists, and a lot of them, I'm talking about hundreds of them was doing it. So when you got like about 22, like this kid age, the people who I was telling you was leaving the rap game, they was not really the shit no more. It was kind of like, what are they doing? They would be on these seminars just like this. I'm not fucking kidding you. They would be on seminars with, just like they doing right here, but it was a lady named C. Dolores Tucker or C. Dolores or something like that. She was a person that was against rap, period. She was against gangster rap. She was against all this rap, but rap was evolving. So we wanted to hit gangster rap because we had heard all this black shit for years. So now gangster rap was coming in. So you was interested. Like, well, I want to see what the fuck. I want to hear it. You like, if you had to sneak it, you're like, I don't give a fuck what the grown people talking about. Because you had people like Public Enemy. You had other artists that were coming together, and they would be on these seminars, and they would be with people like Farrakhan, and they would be like, yo, all this bogus rap, this gangster rap, we got to stop it. It's going to fuck the kids up. And you in your 20s like this kid age, and you looking at them like, these niggas is super lame, so they get the fuck off TV with this goofy shit. Look, we gave you your time. We heard you niggas music. We rock with you. Now you hating on these niggas coming out. You know, they was changing the sound was switching, you know, but you were young. So you like, I want to hear it. They smoking blunts. It was just fun. So you didn't look at music as guiding your life. So I think that that's the thing that these kids don't hear it. They don't know that the music is guiding their life. When you get to my age and you could run back the songs that you used to love, I'm to my love. And then you sitting there saying, eating that booty like groceries, eating that booty. Wait a minute. I got a daughter in the fucking room. I can't be singing that damn song like that because she gonna fucking hear me saying that. But that's the song you used to fucking love growing up. And that's all you know because that was your fucking music in your era. But then you start getting older and you hear it now. And you start saying, damn, that's what the fuck they were saying. I fucking said every line. And you could even hear Biggie sometimes because he was one of the times when it was transitioning. It was transitioning from so much black music to more like party sound and fun. It wasn't just, you're a black man, just knowledge. And when it was kids, I'm talking about, it was almost like indoctrination. It was the music videos, everything was about blackness. And then it switched, and then all of a sudden, it was fun. You knew every fucking lyric in Juicy with Biggie. You knew every lyric. So it was just switching, and so I'm just saying that these kids didn't have that. Just that one little nugget to be like, this is who the fuck I am. Now, who for the rest of my life, I could see anything and know anything because I'm still going to always have knowledge of self. They never got that. And that's the thing I wish that could come back as some component. I don't know if it's the old school music or even if the kids today just pick it up. You know how you see youngsters wearing afros and shit or whatever from the past. Maybe that might come back that direction. But if it don't, and you never hear that kind of music ever in your life, you just go to Steve-O Stoner album. It's called Revolutionary Stoner. That album right there, I remember hearing it for the first times, and I was like, damn, you know what? This is exactly from my time frame when I was growing up. But you don't hear it. Like, he's not super famous, a millionaire yet. But I want you to hear it, because then if you hear the music, you'll be like, oh, okay, bet. I get it. I get that kind of, that framework, which is like a kind of a knowledge thing, plus the struggle from the streets, and that's what it was. It was dual. It wasn't just black shit. It was just what it was to grow up in the youth. I remember it was one song, and like, this is when I'm real young. I'm like 11 at this time. So it was a song coming out, and it was called, well, I remember the lyrics. It was like, "Don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head." It's like a jungle sometimes. You make it wonder why I keep from going under. Now remember, I'm like 11. No fucking kidding. I was 11 years old. There it is right there, Revolutionary Stoner. Check that out on Spotify and all that. That's keep the music going. And I remember hearing that music and seeing the big dudes playing it across the street from the house. They rocking with the big ass radio. And then you hearing the lyrics. "Don't push me, 'cause I'm close to the edge." And then it hit the radio. That song hit the radio. And then it was like all over the world now. And so the whole world is like a jungle sometimes. You make it wonder why I keep from, So the songs used to be organic like that. They would come on that little, the underground side, and then they would go back, and they didn't have nothing to do with what the content was. You could talk about black shit, whatever, but it would get big. But they said something a minute ago in this video. And they talked about redlining. And I just want to read it because they put a little graphic up there explaining to anybody who get to this point. And I know that's the white folks in the video who did that, because they actually probably put the actual the card up there to show the facts behind, and I just want to read what it said, about redlining. And it said, you can read it too with me, just for the fuck of it, just so y'all can see what they did right here in the corner of this box. It said, redlining is a practice of denying mortgages to those who lived in neighborhoods considered risky. Lenders targeted black and immigrant, and that's some bull. When they say immigrant, that's some crap. That's not true. They targeted black people. That's why they say immigrant, because they try to keep it on some, we ain't so bad and racist, but that's the bullshit. That's why they bring immigrants here, so that they call that muddying up the water. We know exactly who the fuck y'all hate. You do not hate no damn immigrants. You wouldn't even let them over here if you hated them. So lenders targeted black and immigrant communities in urban areas. The practice was outlawed in 1968. Now again, that they said outlawed mean that it's illegal to do it, but it wasn't not. The practice wasn't over. They still kept that practice going. You could still have redlining popping off in the 90s and 2000, and they know that too. But let's let the lady talk a little bit more. Thank y'all for voting. I see the votes coming in. Everybody talking their shit. I guess Amanda Sills is really putting a big impact out here to people, letting her know that she's standing for something. She called herself a radical. You know what I'm saying? Whatever radical is to her, and we'll get a chance to let her explain it further. So let her talk her stuff. Let's go.
It is not something that's being made up. It's an empirical fact, and there are realities that exist because of redlining. We know that school systems are related to the way that property taxes are affecting the school systems. If a school system is not getting the same property value as the property taxes allow it, then it's not going to have the same efficacy at allowing for students to be able to get what they deserve. When we talk about systemic racism, we have to acknowledge that these private prisons are literally built based on the test scores of school students in 3rd grade. grade. So if you are literally building prisons with the onset of, okay, if these people are not reaching a certain reading level, then we know that they're going to go down a prison industrial pipeline where we can use their free labor, then how is that not systemic? And if you want to
stop them from entering prisons.
how are you going to stop people from entering prisons if your goal is to get them into prison?
Sure, make them try to be more like Ben Carson than be like King Von. That's very, very simple.
So how does King Von happen? How does King Von happen?
King Von,
reparations.
hold on,
Actually, no, let me land the plane. We're talking about reparations, and what you're doing is actually just trying to get this conversation off the facts. And the fact is, reparations are just and necessary because on a basic level, Black people built this country, and the country continues to thrive off of the labor that Black people put into this country. And it would behoove you, young man, to really understand the way that your ancestors put blood, sweat, and tears into this nation that is still living off of those blood, sweat, and tears. And let me also add, there are reparations and then there is remunerations. Do you know the difference?
Yes, but can I finish one
No,
point I wanted to
answer the
say?
question.
Ben Carson.
So she's giving dude. That's it. That's the end of his conversation. Steve O'Stoner said, he said, you want to know how redlining affect the country since 1865? Get the book called The Color of Law. And there you go right there. That he says a good read. He just finished it. There you go right there, letting you know that all this stuff do exist, regardless if, this guy's a little young. He really haven't had many experiences. He ain't married. He ain't got no kids. He just kind of living, learning what he learned. But he can't not know everything that's going on in the history of Blackness if you don't study it. If you're not a person that's astute with picking up a book, learning something, just to learn who you are. Even if you learn about your grandparents and stuff like that, it's still going to lead back to the same thing because we all live in America. So sometimes just hearing somebody saying, it don't happen, it don't exist, he convoluted. And again, what does he know? And sometimes people just argue for argument's sake. You know what I mean? Just to be able to argue. You know what I'm saying? So let's let her talk a little bit more right now, because this guy's finna get out the way, and they're gonna have another person come in. If she's not important, then I'm not talking about shit. I'm gonna move past her. Let's go.
Put blood, sweat, and tears into this nation that is still living off of those blood, sweat, and tears. And let me also add, there are reparations and then there is remunerations. Do you know the difference?
Yes, but can I finish one
No,
point that I wanted to
answer the
say?
question.
Ben Carson's cousins were killed at a very young.
I'm so sorry. You've been voted out by the majority.
Okay.
Please.
How is that fair?
We got a real Uncle Tom this time.
Oh, thank you. That's what water and keeping stress out of your life will do.
Really? Liberal positions are real stressful.
By the way, I wouldn't know. I'm not a liberal. Carry on.
Well, it's the liberal position, because conservatives believe in hard work. We believe in going to work and working for what you got,
Yep.
not asking for handouts
Right.
from people who never had slaves. Some of the people that you're asking for money from never had slaves.
Okay.
And let's talk about the fact there were also Black people that had slaves. So if you want to talk about that, how is that fair? If I'm a white person and my family fall on the side of the Union, why should I have to pay for slaves when this whole country was never all racist? Some of the founding fathers were abolitionists, and they hated slavery. And
So we go back to knowledge. And then also too, it's the being kept, the kept mentality. So this is a filmmaking channel, and I always talk about making a movie out of some of the stories that I come across. And his movie that this guy is describing is basically the guy that's so afraid to be free because he wants the master to be happy. So he understands that master never built the field. He never did the field. He never built the house. He got him to do it. So I built the house, I built the field. Yeah, you treat me shitty. Yeah, I barely can eat. Yeah, I'm out in the cold. Yeah, I'm out in the heat. But I built it physically with my own two hands. You are my master. You have told me to do it. That was my job, is to work for you. But if I leave, I know ain't nobody gonna be feeding you. You're not gonna be able to man this field. You're not gonna be able to toil this home if something go wrong. So that's his psychology. This guy don't want white people to feel uncomfortable. So if they feel uncomfortable, he feel uncomfortable because he's talking for them. Hey, white people, some of them wasn't even, who the fuck cares? That has nothing to do with reparations about how many individual Caucasian people, grandparents, were slave owners. Because that mean I could say then nobody can go inside these buildings if their parents and grandparents didn't build it through slavery. And it's not like that. All that stuff is open to anybody white, whoever you are. You still benefit from Caucasianism and colonialism and all of the damn words that everybody use. So it's not about that, and it's been like that. So maybe they should have been talking to their cousins or their brothers or their brethren down in the South or whoever area and told them to slow the hell down. Because now that the time of freedom come, you got the people who say that was wrong what happened. You got the people that was crazy. He's delusional. He probably live in some suburban area. He probably got some white boss. And a lot of times these are the reason why you can't have a black outrage. This is the reason why you can't speak in an outrage voice, because your life is dependent 100% on white folks. Your food, your kids' food, your family, your mother, if she's sick, if your house, your car. You cannot imagine or even think about saying something against that, because it will make your whole fucking life crumble. And that's not just one person. That's millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's the way it go. So if you can't speak up, if you can't have a voice, if they come into the room and they tell you some negative statement and they want you to be believing in that position because you got to keep your job, then you got to do what the fuck you got to do. That's not going to make you less than a person just to have a time in around the people to make money for yourself. But when you come out spewing the dumb shit like this, it's too far gone. It's just too much. It's like, dude, what are you talking about? White people don't even believe what you think. That's how sad you are. You believe this, but it's millions of Caucasians that will tell you fucking crazy. What are you talking about? The country was built on people's backs. We give money to these folks. We gave money to them folks. Why do you think old boy Bernie Sanders couldn't become the president? He got right on one of those shows, Breakfast Club, and they asked him, "What you think about reparations?" He said it's not feasible. Then he lost his he lost his election because you want us to vote for you, but and they was mad at Charlemagne because they said, "Why didn't you push back on him and say, hey man, you voted for the Jewish thing, you voted for this other stuff when it come down the pipeline for other people to get reparations? Why would you vote for black?" He wouldn't push back at the guy like that. And Charlemagne got chopped up. He was like, "Look, I don't know all the answers to questions. So next time I have somebody on there like that, I'm gonna get one of y'all. I'm gonna call you. You asking the questions because people want to know, and it don't matter if this one guy don't believe it. The rest of the country already spoke. It's supposed to be equal. It's supposed to be black people having something for their time in America, not just a jail spot and bad relationships. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back to the message, y'all, and keep the polls coming. I see the numbers running up. We're gonna let this guy finish talking so we can see what his brain is, and y'all can let me know in the comment section what you think about this dude.
They actually put things in the Declaration of Independence and things too, because they believe that there'll be a future where there would be a black president one day, or that there would be people in leadership that were black. There was people in the North who helped with the Underground Railroad and fought with the Union. So why is that fair for people who never had slaves, who fought against slavery, to have to pay for people that had slaves?
One, from my understanding, you are more interested in preserving the fairness of those who didn't have slaves than the fairness of those who are the descendants of slaves. That is priority to you than finding a fair way to accommodate those who have been the descendant of slaves.
Well, our ancestors wasn't asking for handouts. They were asking for equal opportunity, and we have equal opportunity in this country. We had a black president, just in case you didn't know. We had a black president, and we had a black vice president. I mean, I think she was black. They said she was black. I don't know. So we had a black president, and you know who voted for that black man? White people, because you can't win a popular election in this country without white people. So Barack Obama is the product of white people. So let's not get off this thing where, oh, America is so racist. What's making America so racist is people that continue to talk about racism and continue to focus on racism instead of focusing on unity and bringing our country forward. People that have this liberal mindset are infecting our communities, black people, and making us victims and not victors. I refuse to embrace a victim mentality because that's not what our grandparents and Harriet Tubman and those people fought for. They fought for equal opportunity. Do not bring up
Harriet Tubman's name in vain, baby, please.
Delusionality on a grand scale. So he is, again, like she said, his point is, I'm going to stand for the white people. Again, let me start again. This black guy, his idea of freedom is I'm going to stand for the white people who didn't have slavery, who didn't have slaves. And here he is stating that with no fact or proof. No fact or proof, because you're talking about 400 years ago. So you don't know who had shit in America. You just know from what they telling you. And if you live around white people and they could keep selling this shit to you, then you're gonna fucking believe it. But you can go on your own historical knowledge and read books that's in all libraries, that's in black bookstores, that can give you more insight. And so maybe somebody didn't have a slave in a house or something like that, but they benefited from it and they never stopped it. And the ones who did try to stop it, they still benefited from it too. You could look at the thing called the fishbowl. There's something called the fishbowl. I just recently read up on it, where the Union soldiers made these black people go into this little area where it was after the slave times. They had just freedom, and it was in the 1860s like that. They put them in this little area called the Black Fishbowl or some shit like that, and they forced them to stay there. And these people, they starved them to death. Now you're supposed to be free from the war. This man is talking about they didn't have slaves. They was in the army. They said they're gonna fight for us. But when the war was over, this little section, you can look it up yourself. It's called the Fishbowl. I almost want to look it up again. And it said where Union soldiers forced these people to stay in this section with no food and no water, and it was like a ditch, so you couldn't crawl yourself out. You know what I'm saying? And the motherfuckers was down there, and they said if you go in that area to this day, the water that built up over it, they say sometimes bodies still come up from up under there. They say something it's haunted in the people who live in that particular area of the world. So to think that all white people didn't do something and something like that, but all white people get to benefit from it today and live in big ass mansions and put big ass high rises in every downtown section. This nigga said the Peach Bowl. Equality, man. Hey, we having a serious conversation over here, bro. He out here going crazy. Shit. Gotta bring that comedy to it, man. You gotta do that. Look. Hey, just Equality said, "What's up?" He said, "Sir, he's slow as fuck." Shake my head. When anyone has done anything for us, we hold the line every day, an all day. Facts. That's 100. That's true. The Peach Bowl, I believe. No, it wasn't the Peach Bowl. I gotta keep this nigga swear about nobody eat peaches. This nigga crazy motherfucker. Hey, as Snowden said, Steve Snowden said the entire U.S. community was built on slavery. Everybody got a piece of the pie. It wasn't some small business, only a few were involved. This guy can't understand. That's why I said sometimes not reading, but hearing it directly from the human is like, God damn, really? Oh shit. This is what people be believing. But I get it because, you know, he probably looked like he's 32-ish. He might not have heard it like that. He might not have got those, they cut them off. So for instance, if an inventor would have invented another YouTube or internet back then, like in 94, like in 90, 89, you would have still been able to hear those artists to this day. But they got cut off. So after Do the Right Thing with Spike Lee, that movie came out, they chopped it. I would say, and I was 16. I was 16, and then they started flipping it. It was like when that movie came out, and you have to watch that movie. You have to go see that movie. If you have never seen it, it's good. Watch it slow. Watch it by yourself so you can understand the story of what was going on. But after that happened, that shit started switching in the music, and every game, all of it. They cut all them niggas off. It was like, y'all about to try to riot this motherfucking country. No. Because Spike Lee was in that motherfucker doing all kind of racial stuff, like having people say the N-word and spick and all these words in the movie, and it was crazy. It was the first time somebody did some shit like that, so it's crazy. So Equality said, "I believe that's what it is. That's what it's called." Yeah, nobody. Steve Stone said, "Nobody is that stupid." You said, I know. No. He cracking the joke, man. That's all. Stone. He cracking the joke. Hoping the butter grits is from white society. Just saw them out me. No, the actual name. No, it's not. But they were at Peach Grove. Oh, damn. You know what, bro? You might be right. You fucking might be right, because it used to be some shit. Yeah. Dude might be right. So I forgot the name. I can't remember y'all that made me want to go look that shit up, because I did just look it up. I seen it on one of them people who be talking on YouTube. It's like they call it some kind of, I thought it was called Fishbowl, but I can't remember and shit. You know what I'm saying? Black Massacre, because it's going to pop up. Watch this shit. I want to make sure we know, because that's something that actually happened and shit. The Devil's Punch Bowl. So that's what it was. It's called the Devil's Punch Bowl. So me and bro was both wrong, but it was close. But it could be a Peach Bowl too, with some shit like that happening, because, you know, a lot of wicked shit happened to black people back in the day, and we just wouldn't even, you know what I'm saying, have known. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the way it up. But if you put Even if you put the Peach Bowl in the motherfucker, the Devil's Punch Bowl pop dead up. It really do. It's right there. It show you that that shit really happened. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this real story that happened back 1865. You see how wild that shit is? This shit happened in 1860 motherfucking 5. So that means they killed these black people for no fucking reason. And so who was the people who did it? It could them to be the Union soldiers of some white person today who's supposed to be a fucking hero, but he was a part of that Peach Bowl shit. What the fuck was it again? Punch Bowl? You know what I'm saying? That's really some shit. You know what I'm saying? So we will never know. But guess what's more important? All of those dead bodies of those black people who died. That's more important than who actually did it. You know what I'm saying? Because we know it was a war against black people, and that shit was in Mississippi. It was down south with that was Punch Bowl shit happened in Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see if it's a video we can see. As long as no music playing on this, I'm gonna let this dude or one of these videos explain to us real quick about the.
Let's talk about the
All right,
time the
hold up.
American government allowed.
All right, yo, this is the perfect one because he's not playing no music, and he'll be able to explain to us the Devil's Punch Bowl. So me and E was close, but we didn't get it right. We was close, but we didn't get it exactly right. But yeah, he saw it though. Yeah, yup, he synced this shit, man. Look, this on YouTube. Anybody can see this shit. This is a fucking fact, man. Yup, this is a fact right here. Let's get to it. I'm gonna let dude explain it real quick. Can you see his face? Okay, you see dude down there. Oh, but you can't see the video shit. All right, I'm gonna cut the green screen off so you can see his little video, what he's showing and shit.
Tens of thousands of black people to die in concentration camps. Let's talk about the Devil's Punch Bowl. So the end of the Civil War is quickly approaching, and with the Emancipation Proclamation, thousands upon thousands of now free black people and escapees are roaming the South. And the city of Natchez, Mississippi was a hotbed for these black people to go to.
Yeah, he got a little music playing in this joint, so I'm gonna go to the next joint, see if it's music playing. Yeah, so it's a lot of music playing on these fucking. Yeah, I can't play too much of they shit, especially these particular videos got a lot of music playing on them, but you can actually understand if you look at it, it'll tell you what's going on. It's called the Devil's Punch Bowl. But I wanted to just break that video point down to give you more insight about that, because the idea or the talking point that all white people were involved and what the fuck are you talking about? How would you know anyway? And then how would that even matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine imagine tumultuousness for blacks in America at that time if all white people was involved. Could you imagine that? Every single white people, 300,000 coming down to yank you out of a jail to kill you. And it could have been like that. Us watching white people explain to us what happened to our people years ago, that can't be the truth. That can be only what they're telling you. So to sit here and say from his knowledge that was the truth, it's like, dude, you crazy. But I'm gonna let the guy talk. You know, I wanted to talk about this because there's so much to talk about with her interviewing these whole people called black conservatives, and you watching Black Outrage. This is Hood Films, and we getting right to it. And I didn't even take a break. I want to keep the conversation going, so we're gonna go right back to the conversation. Let's get to it.
The Lord's name in vain. The Lord's name.
Harriet Tubman was literally saving her family and others from slavery.
Yeah.
I think.
So the commercials, they ain't gonna let us slide without the commercials. You know it's YouTube. They do not let you just get away with no commercials. That ain't how it go over here. So you gotta give me 1 minute the same way you gotta give these white folks, all right? 1 minute, let's go. All right, we back at it. Talked about the Devil's Punch Bowl. We got Amanda Seals smoking, all these people coming in here talking all this crap about black people, trying to feel like they're going to fit in closer to white folks. I love this kind of stuff. This is what Black Outrage show is all about. This is why we started the show 44 shows ago, and this is number 45. I love the comments coming in too. Equarles says, yes, I study. Every one of them must seek the truth. Hold the line always. That's a fact. And let's get to the actual poll. Is Amanda Seals right for being a radical? And 70% of the people say yes. So we got a nice amount of people in here that's doing the poll. A lot of people. It's crazy. So I'm grateful to everybody that's showing up, kicking it with us. Excuse me. We got all our stuff going on. Super things, shopping, everything you can do. Get our shirt. This is how it look. We got your size. You're going to be flat as fall. We appreciate the support. Do the super things. Hit the like button, show love, and continue to watch the show. So we're getting right back into it. We had this black guy talking some crap right here. He had his points to make. I'm definitely not agreeing with him. But you know, and she's chopping it away. She's you know, Amanda Seals. You know, I don't know if I'm a fan of her like that, but I'm glad to see her working with them dudes and these guys and girls, giving them some insight, because that's kind of like what people need. We could turn our nose up to them and diss them and hate them, but really they just need knowledge. That's really just well, think about it. When you was a kid, you didn't know what 2 + 2 was. They had to give you knowledge, and then you knew it. At that point, you can count. Let's go.
You know who helped her?
They were on the Underground Railroad.
No,
Come on in.
you know who helped her?
Come on in.
No, you know who helped her?
God and
People who benefit from white supremacy. One of the things
it's a lie. White supremacy is a lie.
No, sir, that's simply not true.
If
that were not the case, then we wouldn't see the continued effort of colonialism and white people placing themselves in positions of power when they do not have the power.
Because their culture, black culture is toxic. The black culture is toxic. We have produced a culture that is toxic. And let's get on the fact that there's no fathers in the black culture. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
None of this is gonna work if y'all are just gonna sit here and make up shit. It's not gonna work. No, it's a debate. It has to be in facts.
You're putting off emotional liberalism.
I am not putting off emotional liberalism. You're putting off unfounded lies based in conservatism.
Remember they did the misinformation thing all summer where everything conservative did. They said misinformation.
You're carrying a chain around your neck of an apartheid nation that actively wants to harm black people and non-Jewish people. But let me bring it back.
Selling black people in Africa.
That was not happening in the context that you're saying.
And they were selling their own people. Black people still sell their own people today too.
I don't know if I'm gonna last.
We're selling our own people today too.
I don't know if I'm gonna last.
You probably won't last with me.
I won't, because your ignorance is so overwhelming.
That's liberals. Y'all start name calling when y'all get defeated.
It's not name calling. You won't have an argument because you keep cutting me off.
Oh, well, that's fine. If they don't let me cut
I made my point. You didn't make your point. I made my point. You haven't made your point.
So you see, it's a battle with those guys. It's not like you go really get 2 points in, because his mind is made up. His mind is made up. His mind is made up about black folks and blackness, and there's really no changing that. And this is okay, because again, it's self-deprecating. It's like I hate me. It's the root cause of I'm gonna pop that again. It's like I hate me. And so in order to hate yourself, you have to put somebody up on a pedestal. You have to basically say, I have to reach that point. Now, I'm gonna tell all y'all other black people, I know you won't get there, because I see how we kick it. I see how you kick it too, Junebug. You ain't going. But man, you might have a chance. But me, I'm going. I'm finna be around these white people, and don't none of y'all call me and do not embarrass me. And it's just, that's a part of the race. Like, it's black people that's like that. You know what I'm saying? If they get a white girlfriend or a white husband, they're not gonna really fuck with you no more. They're gonna feel like they are different. The way they, and they'll be looking just like you. What you mean us? You just like us too? Not no more. It's okay, because who wants to be on a losing team? Who wants to be on a team that got to fight? Who wants to be on a team that got to have a voice or got to keep speaking out? You might as well just, when I was a kid, they used to say, if you can't beat them, join them. So that's basically the whole idea. So it's less of a fight. Tariq Nasheed used to say, people will do anything not to fight against white supremacy. Anything. They'll do anything not to have to fight against white supremacy. And when they asked him why, he said, because it's scary. It's fucking scary to try to fight up against some shit that's already indoctrinated into the fucking culture, into the world, and you gonna be the person saying it's not right, it should stop? Why? Why would you even give a shit? Just go and blend in with everybody else. But the thing is, again, millions and millions of black people in our culture cannot, will not, and forever will never fit in with white supremacy, whiteness, assimilation, American culture. It's just not gonna ever happen. And then you'll spend your whole fucking life wondering why. And so you need places like Black Outrage and even places like what she got going on so that you can understand how everybody else thinks. So you might feel like you're alone. You might feel like it's just me that feel like this. You might feel like it's just me that's experiencing this. People might tell you that you're the reason why you're experiencing this because of you. And you sitting back like, well, how the fuck they know at the Canadian border that I had a record if they didn't pull me the fuck over and yank us out the damn car and search the shit out of me? So it didn't start off for me having a fucking record. It started off because a white motherfucker seen a black person and was like, yo, come here. Now he searched the shit out of me and found out I had a record. You see, it's not necessarily what you did. It's the fact that, goddammit, they going to see you first and be like, come here. They already set the system up that they know who the fuck you are when you come. You the one who just like, I really just, it was just a joint. It's not really a rap. I just got caught with a joint. They like, I know, because you from over there. Nigga, we know you got caught with something. Come here. And you sitting back like, oh shit, what, huh? You know, it's they know already. They set the thing up. You don't know. You walk around like, I'm gonna be like them. I'm gonna work with them. And you pop up somewhere and they come over there and fucking with you at the restaurant. You like, what happened? What? I just sat right here. No. Can we talk to you at the rest? What the fuck I need to talk to somebody for? Look, we're gonna give you food, but we want y'all to eat over here if you don't mind. Just because everybody feel uncomfortable. You like, what the fuck are they even talking about? But you feeling like it's no racism. It must have been me. Like if I just, maybe I showed it when I did this to scare somebody. Like you have to feel some kind of feeling of hierarchy in order for you to have these people mindset. You can never feel like you at the top or you can get at the top. You have to feel like that there's a top that's unapproachable, unreachable, and nobody else gonna get there but you if you make the right moves, the right, if I could just, and then when you see other black people going to jail or may lose a job or whatever going on, it to make you feel like, see, I knew it. See, that's what I'm saying. If I just keep, if all I gotta do. And so it's just sometimes you'll never have a voice. They don't want to speak out. They don't want to say nothing. They just want to fit in. They just want to blend in. And that's free too. You know what I'm saying? Equality said, yes, I study. Okay, I said that. Steve O'Stoner said, as a brother living like a man, and June, man, he said, as a brother living like man in Junebug, I'm offended. You offended. I'm both of them niggas. I'm man and Junebug. I'm man on my mama's side of the family. I'm Junebug on my grandma, on my father's side of the family. So I'm twin. That's how I go. Look, let's pop back over and see what she's doing, because she got a new guy up here. What he talking about, we gonna see what he talking about. The polls is coming in. I appreciate y'all rocking with us on the polls. Let's see what this dude got to say.
What type of decisions?
Not marrying the women we decide to lay down and have children with. Not being careful with the seeds that we plant in women. No woman can get pregnant without a man planting his seed inside of her. So therefore...
So it's marriage.
Well, that's a part of it. Marriage is a part of it.
Okay.
But the true piece that I'm looking at is connectedness between familial units. The black community was at its economically strongest while being at its poorest during the segregation era. Prior to 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King in his last speech said that we have an annual income of more than $30 billion a year, which is more than all of the exports of Canada and more than all of the exports of the United States and more than the national budget of Canada. That was when we were economically at our poorest. Yet 85% of our black children were growing up with a father in the home. There was less black on black crime. There was less disenfranchisement.
Why was there less black on black crime?
Because we needed to live together. We had to stick by each other.
What was there also less of?
I'm not sure where you're leading. That's a leading question. I don't like
You don't like this?
I don't like leading questions, no. I like direct stuff.
So essentially, when we were living in our own communities, we were also policing our own communities. So we were not being used as statistics in the same way to determine how resources were provided to our own communities. When we were going to the government saying, hey, we deserve, because we are supposed to be separate but equal, we weren't saying, hey, we want to be with y'all. We were essentially saying, we want what you are stating we deserve. And that is what all of the efforts of the civil rights movement has been. It's literally just been to say, you said when we got out of the Civil War that we would be considered citizens, and all citizens should be getting equal access to these things. However, you are actively allowing the Klan to harm us. You are actively allowing...
Who's killed more black people, the Klan or us?
I would like to continue my statement. I let you speak uninterrupted.
You did.
When we talk about this concept of who is harming us, we are really making a false claim when it comes to black on black crime, as if there isn't white on white crime. There's also this unnecessary effort to try and pathologize black on black crime in a way that you don't try to pathologize white on white crime.
Boom. And that there we go. Let's stop and I'll rock back to me and the message. And she really is, again, right on point. Right on point. The guy, again, feels comfortable, wants white people to feel comfortable in his ultimate mindset. So he speaks some of their points. And the point he's making is, again, black people kill more black people. Again, you making it seem like nobody else does this. Like Asians don't kill Asians, like Hispanics don't kill Hispanics, whites don't kill whites, cats don't kill cats, fucking dogs don't kill dogs. Like, what are you talking about? We're the same. There could be conflict amongst us because we live around each other. We live in proximity with each other. So why would I have an issue with somebody who lives on the outskirts of, let's say, Texas, when I'm from Chicago? That would be crazy. Somebody who I would have a conflict with would be somebody within 10 miles of where I live. That's just natural thinking. So to think that somebody black is going to have a problem with somebody who lives in Connecticut just because some statistics, no. Somebody in Connecticut is going to have an issue with somebody in Connecticut. And that's what it is, period. And it don't matter what color they are. A cat is going to have a problem with a cat in Connecticut, not a cat in fucking in New Jersey. So all of that's ridiculous thinking. But again, if any of that is true, so why don't the government help the community get it right? Why do they continue to perpetuate voting and then everything stay the same? Any culture could come into our neighborhood, set up shop, and have a business. So he talking about black crime. Why isn't there no storefronts where black people can just have a business? And then there go your time right there. You running a corporation. There go your t-shirt company is right there. There go your beer company. Your whatever storefront you got is sitting right there. Let me close this door real quick. My son playing some music. And YouTube is very sensitive. So I don't want it to pick up that music in the background. But anyway, it's not allowing us to believe that we can do it on our own. These people, again, and I can't say these people like that, but these people, what the hell is he talking about? Let's get back to it.
There are white people killing each other every single day. Now, they may be on jet skis in the pictures after they shoot up their whole family, but nonetheless, there are white people killing each other every single day. Now, much of the reason why you may see more numbers in terms of black on black crime are for two reasons. One, the statistics be lying all the time. We have seen this.
Numbers? Okay,
we have seen this in a real way. So in New Jersey. In New Jersey.
What numbers can be trusted? Because with the previous speaker,
I'm about to tell you right now.
Okay, so your sources.
You can't such number. No, I'm literally about to give you an example of numbers not being able to be trusted.
Okay, talk to me.
That's what I was doing.
I'm listening.
Okay, then listen.
Oh, my ears on.
Listen, in New Jersey, they had a statistic that was created by the police department that said, look at how many black people are committing crimes. Look at how crazy this number is. These black people are so exorbitantly violent. Look at this. And then people went and actually matched the names that they were booking with the faces of the actual people incarcerated. And it was proven that they were lying.
So that's one. So that's one instance.
That's
Hold on,
one
you're
example.
talking to somebody that works as a police dispatcher when I'm not making content. So here's the thing.
I
So
see.
no. You see what the truth is. You're about to see the truth. You just give me a second. Like Trump said, just give me a second. I'm going to do the weave, but give me a minute.
Well, here's what you all keep doing. You keep interrupting me when I'm talking, and you don't want to hear the point that I'm going to make. And yet you want me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works. So if you want me to keep getting louder, I will do it. But ultimately, if I show you respect, give me the respect back. I let you talk. I let you make your points. I'm countering your points. And my points are just as valid as yours, even though you got a pocket square and a Church of Christ pin on your chest.
It's not a Church of Christ. It's
whatever. It's a cross. Same difference. You got an American flag and you think you know something because you a cop. And ultimately,
not a cop.
it's ACAB all day over here. So let me make that clear. But let me also add to my point. My point is that you can sit here and blame.
It ain't no point you can make with these folks. So right here, this guy is what you call, he felt like he one of them. He's sitting in an office with all cops all day. What kind of conversation you think they having? His brain is very soft and weak and cushiony. so he can easily be influenced. So now he gets to have a little bit more respect at the job because he's gonna get on the internet and spit the talking points of the people, like the people he had worked with. Like they come in the office and be like, man, we have to arrest this nigga, black motherfucker over there, man, whoop his ass. And I got, man, every time I get tired, oh shit, they put me back on that dispatch. I'm in that area over there. Oh my God, I get tired of that. He hear the talking, I hear them conversations. Or he on the phone and he have people in the office be like, another one of them calling. Oh my God. We're sending an ambulance, ma'am. Like, oh my God, I get tired of them calling the damn phone. So you're gonna have that conversation and understand it because your brain is already weak and they can easily train you into believing that you're the enemy. How could you look at black people and say they do the most crime when you also black yourself? You also black yourself. So instead of saying they doing more crime, you should be figuring out a way to stop it, figuring out a way to help it. See, they want to be white, but only when it talks to dissing black people. They want to be white. They want to live around white people, work for white people, talk like white people, live like white people, dress like white people. But only when it comes to dissing black people. But let me tell you how white people kick it. This is a movie channel. We got to talk movies. A white person, and you could tell me if I'm lying in the comment section. A white person in all their movies, they're the hero. So if the people is fucked up, they're gonna make sure that they do the thing to get the corporation to make through the water run through the neighborhood. They're gonna be a hero at the end of the movie, and they're gonna get the girl. They're gonna make sure that the people come down there and hear their speech. Or they're gonna go down there to City Hall and they're gonna talk about it. And then they're gonna be a hero at the end of the movie. So these kind of black people, they wanna be white, but they don't wanna take on that hero fucking spirit that every fucking white movie is about. You wanna be Arnold Schwarzenegger, but you don't wanna do, the movie just showed you. They would have went down there, he would have came down there with the kindergarten, and they would have all been down there standing with little signs and shit like, we tired of desegregation, we tired of gentrification. And everybody would have been like, man. And that little mean white dude who got to sign the form, he would have been like, God damn it, took his glasses off and signed it. And everybody would have been clapping, oh my God, we would have did it. And he would have been sitting in the crib feeling resounded up in his heart like, yeah, man, hell yeah. But don't want to do shit like that. You just want to ride down the neighborhood like, why the fuck this neighborhood still look like this? I grew up around here, man. This shit fucked up. It ain't nothing I can stand. I'm so glad I got it from around here. Then go watch the damn movie with your girl. Like, well, that was a good ass movie. I'm finna do a video about it. You don't even want to change it. It's not an Aaron Brockovich. It's not a fucking movie that white people don't make that they don't become the hero and go down there. They giving you the blueprint of how to fix your community every fucking day. They show it to you. You go to the movies, you bring your kids, you go to the Burger King, you get the juice and be like, yeah, give me the Marvel superhero juice, and you ride home. But you don't want to fucking implement the same thing they showcasing. They ain't the fucking leader. They the motherfucker that you trying to follow. They the people who showing you how to do it, but you only want to follow them just up to the point to when they be like, yeah, fuck these niggas. Then you be like, hell yeah, you right, because you know I grew up over there. I get fucking tired. I gotta go visit my grandmother over there. I hate that fucking, guess who's still there? Man and Junebug. Oh, I hate them niggas. But you don't never see them do that. They go back in their movies and they will kick it. They go back and the local drug dealer or kingpin nigga, they go confront him. They go confront him. They have a fight. It'd be the end of the movie. And they be like, I'm stabbed and hurt, but I made it, or they die. And you be sitting back again like, damn, man, that motherfucker was good. Boy, the way Brad Pitt, the way he died like that, that shit was amazing. And you be there waiting at the Oscars like, man, he should get it for that shit. Win your Oscar in your hood. Win your Oscar in your community. You be Brad Pitt. You be the 12 years a slave producer. Don't make them have to always be the one, because you standing up there thinking like, if I could just get close to them, then they'll accept me as them. And then I could look back at the black people and say, look how far I came. Look how far I came. It's more to life than just fitting inside whiteness, just assimilating to Caucasianism, just moving around white people. It's more to life than that. It's just really more. You can enjoy so much life. Even if that is what your ultimate goal is, it's really nothing wrong with that. It's more to life than that. And just spewing out negativity towards the black folks and black people, and you black yourself, it just shows the sick psychology is you've picked it up. It's like a poison. You've seen the ants when you're a kid. You've seen hundreds and thousands of ants when you're a child. And then you've seen that one ant with a big ass lump on his back or fucking some shit sticking out of the side of him. And then you kind of look at that ant and you be like, you even looking at the other ants, like, is they gonna get around that motherfucker? Do they talk to that ant? Like, look at that shit sticking out the back of that motherfucker. This is them. You seeing them like, oh shit, they got infected. They got infected. And so now they want to infect the world because white people still don't fuck with you. No matter how many of these YouTubes you make or any of these videos, as soon as they change their mind, you're done. You can go ask, you can go ask exactly you want to be a cop or some weirdo. Yo, Steve O'Stoner says he worked for the police. I told you he was one of the T white supremacy payroll. Right, exactly. Steve O'Stoner said the leaders and the heroes you are describing are Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, Elijah Muhammad, etc. Dudes like this are tethers and sambos. That's true. Yep, he want to be a cop. Facts, Stolen. Let's get back to the conversation. Let's get back to it. She giving them the best cooling she can give them. Keep the votes coming in, guys. We appreciate the votes. Let's go. We rocking out right now. We talking about Amanda Seales. Talking to a bunch of conservatives at a show, and we appreciate you. Black Outrage 45. Let's go.
Black people on black people all day long and not acknowledge that we are forced into. You're going to interrupt me again.
I haven't even said a word.
All right, that is flagged, so I'm gonna ask you to return to your seat.
It's a waste of my time. Y'all just want to be seen. I don't need to be seen.
Big up.
Well, there you go right there. She let it all hang out on this lane, whoever this guy was. But you know, again, she said at one point in this particular video that she's in LA and these people might be actors. So she said, "Are y'all actors? Tell me, because I don't know if y'all serious." Because she don't believe that black people feel like this. Me either. When I started looking at this video, I'm like, I didn't know black people thought like this. I thought, you know, because we all experience the same kind of reality as blackness. But you know, it's the world we in. So who am I to know? And we got a black woman right now. I don't know what she about to say. I didn't see her clip, so let's see what she got to say. She might not say nothing. She might have something important to say. So keep the poll going. Let's get back to the show. Let's see what this lady got to say.
So this is my thing. I think the premise of your question was black on black crime. So I think I'm coming from a place, and I guess my issue is having had my biological father murdered by a black man, having had my cousin shot in the head by a black man. We can talk numbers and statistics and what the people are doing, what the white man is doing and all that. But at the end of the day, I see when my family lives on the south side of Chicago, and I think you and I both can attest to this, and I'm not saying that there are not other factors, but we know that we kill each other at a disproportionate rate than any other race. Now, why we do that and why 6,000 to 9,000 black men are going to be homicided or killed or whatever by the end of the year annually by other black men, whereas the likelihood of a black man being killed by a white police officer is less than 150 per year, we know that we kill each other at a higher rate. So I'm not debating that there are not factors at play, but because I've lived the experience as a black woman losing my father to be murdered by a black man walking down the street.
By the way.
No worries, thank you. But walking down the street in inner cities and different things, knowing that it's more likely that my own brother will rob and rape me than a white man or a white officer, we gotta be real.
What's your proximity to white men in the south side of Chicago? Are there even white men around to rob and rape you at the same rate that there are black men?
There are white men around.
At the same rate?
There wasn't a lot of black people in there, but then that doesn't justify the fact that we're destroying each other. So even if we get
Nothing,
to like
we can agree on that,
okay,
sis.
because I feel like a lot of
Nothing
times liberals will
justifies,
argue like, well,
I'm not a liberal. I'm not a liberal.
Okay, well, I will say that people that sometimes have your stance that are against conservatives, maybe they have this claim that they're making it up, they're making up the numbers. We know that we do that to each other. So I want to get to the root of the issue. Why are we killing each other? I think the root of the issue is we've lost our values and we've lost our resilience as black people. We sit there and we talk about what the white man did, and we talk about slavery and everything like that, but we have no self-accountability and say, you know what, at the end of the day, that is my black grandmother, that is my black sister, you are my black sister, and you know that a black man is more likely to rob you or commit some type of crime against you, and that's what we need to get down to the issue of. And like you were talking about earlier, like, hey, well, what's going on? You know, what do you think the answer is to one of the brothers that were speaking? I think it's the breakdown of the family. I think, like he said, because of our poor choices, and what happens is we look at domestic violence, for example, when
And she's about to go on a heavy tirade, and rest in peace to her people too, because that's sad what goes on in the world. And I don't think Amanda Seales can answer a question as heavy as the girl laid on her. Obviously, everything exists. Everything exists. It's just not black on black crime, but all the stuff exists. It's people in the world that do stuff. You know, it's a big world. Imagine, we all came from our parents individually, so we can't attest for another human's activity or another human's mindset or another human's humanity. People do stuff. You know, and to think that, and it's, for her particular situation, it's extreme because it happened directly to her. So it's hard for Amanda Seales to really attest for that. She's not even from Chicago. Like what she said, how many white people around you? The girl couldn't answer that because she know for a fact it's zero. Because just the way segregation is in Chicago, particularly that particular town. So obviously you're around, like we said earlier, the people you're around, it's the stuff that they can go down. Just like if you was in any other culture, in any other place, any other town. You know, I remember when there was something was happening in Africa where it was on the news, and it was like this one culture, they had came to another village and took all the girls, and they took like thousands of girls. Like, you know, I guess they were maybe hundreds of girls, and they kept them. So it was popping on the news maybe 3 weeks or 2 weeks in a row, asking like, did anybody gonna catch these girls? And then they started going down there with filming, and they'd say that every once in a while some girls would walk back. They would come walking back to their family village from the old village that they got snatched and kidnapped to, but now they was pregnant. Now they was having babies, and some girls didn't come back. So again, they didn't go hundreds of miles away from their village. They went to the next village over, and they snatched the girls because that's what's in their proximity. So it's not the same laws and jurisprudence it is in America, but in their place, they went right next door. So again, no matter where you are in the world, the stuff is going to happen in your proximity. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just necessarily height that is necessarily black. It does happen to us as black people, and it's sad. Again, we can't imagine everybody's mindset. It might be people with mental issues every day, but you can't know that. And then it don't necessarily have to be something from blackness and whiteness. It just could be just the world, period. You know, we all see homeless people walking around somewhere or on a train or even walking in the middle of the street with a big basket and all kind of items. And then you thinking to yourself like, well, why we, if you have nowhere to go, why would you have all this stuff? It's no real, unless you could talk to that person and know, you wouldn't know. So you just keep moving. So it's, again, how would you know what's going on with everybody when some crime happened or when somebody do something you would not know? And it's just like that. And Tyrone Cleveland says she's totally brainwashed. Let's get back to the conversation.
Domestic violence, women or men or even attack, what is the first thing we say? It's like, you know what? It's not your what? It's not your fault. So that's what we do. We hold on to this narrative that, well, it's not our fault. The issues in our community, they're not our fault. And the white man needs to give us something. The old white lady down the street is looking at me and I'm like, I'm raising hair. We focus on all these other stupid things that don't matter. We don't get to the root of the fact that we're killing each other at a higher rate than any other race. It is self-hatred amongst us. I believe that we can do that. That my cousin, my mom's cousin, coming from the church parking lot, and guess who stuck her up and robbed her at gunpoint? A black man.
I need you to get to the point.
Like, my point is that, no, and I'm not trying to be funny, unless like you said, we're going to keep it respectful.
Yeah, but you're monopolizing the whole conversation.
I'm not trying, okay, I'm going to let you speak, but let's not get the attitudes and stuff, because you're my sister and I respect you. So
I don't have an attitude, I'm being direct to you, but you're literally speaking this, and you're not going to do that with me either.
Okay,
so you're stating your point, and you've been stating your point for quite some time.
So
you have
the
a
proper
reason
ways,
for
would
me
you
to respond.
would you allow me to respond? So that's a better response. Go ahead.
The response that I have for you is that everything you're saying does not exist in a vacuum. I actually agree with you in that, yes, there has been incredible denigration of Black worth and Black pride in this nation. I think it's also very important to acknowledge what has contributed to that. And to state that it is only Black people that have contributed to that is a false flag. So we have to admit that. So in order to have this conversation around how we got here, you can't say, oh, well, we're caring about the white woman getting braids and that doesn't matter and this thing. All of that attaches. All of that is actually a very big part of the lack of worth of Black people.
I'll ask you, do you think we're resilient? What does resilience mean to you? Do you think we have to be perpetual victims, or do you think that Black people are resilient?
I think that those are two different conversations. I think the concept of Black people being victims is really trying to not provide accountability to where the root problem for the actual cause is. And if we keep saying that somebody is a victim and that doesn't mean that the other person should have to actually have accountability, then what are we really doing? You can do both. You can be a victim and be resilient.
How do we do both if you stay in the victimhood? That's my question.
But your statement about Black people staying in the victim place is also your point of view.
But how do we rise above it?
We continue to rise above it by, one, pouring into our communities with mutual aid, but two, by simultaneously making sure that we are challenging the systems that are in place to impede us. We have so many opportunities where we are trying to do mutual aid, and those things get disrupted by folks who want to have capitalist gain, by folks who want privatization. We used to have all these mom and pop businesses in our communities.
There's over 3 million Black millionaires in America right now. You are an intelligent Black woman that is successful.
That's irrelevant.
No one's stopping me from doing anything. I'm an intelligent Black woman that graduated and is successful.
Many efforts have tried to stop me from doing what I do. We are not all equal in our capabilities. And we are not all equal in our ability to be invested in by others.
I agree with
you.
All right. Let's stop that, because they're going to go on forever, because, again, it took a while before they got to the two Black women clash, and that's where we are right there. And The girl said it's a victimhood mentality that black people are living in. And that to me is sad because to me, again, in order for there to be a victim, there has to be a victimizer. So again, to point the name or point the finger at the victimizer is a continuation of the same stupidity. So it's the same thing as saying, all these rappers is the reason why our neighborhoods are messed up. What? So not the companies that put out the rap music, not the companies that get 80% of the fucking royalties from the music, not the companies who got the streaming platforms, not the companies who make millions of dollars from putting out the concerts, but just the little rapper dude. That dude, he's walking down the street right there. Oh, he drove in his car. Oh, he got a necklace. Yeah, he got a necklace, a car, and a house. He's the reason why cultures in our black communities messed up, not the company or the radio station that actually plays his music constantly on their shit rotation 15. He don't own none of that, don't control it. He don't even know them people. He only know the white guy who came down there and said, John, man, I'm gonna give you a deal. That's the only person he know. The rest of them people, they operate. They don't gotta talk to him, ain't gotta speak to him. If he could be standing next to them in the store, he wouldn't even know that they're the person that hit the button in the streaming platform. But it's the same thing. So we gotta just keep claiming that it's black people's fault. So you never look at the actual person who's doing the whole process. Patricia Fox was good. Steve O'Stoner said, black on black crime isn't real. Crime is just crime. They put black on it to justify the disproportionate targeting of black folks. See what I'm saying? So y'all are getting a double dose of knowledge. You're getting the knowledge right here from Amanda Seals, giving these people soft touches of information. Because, excuse me, everybody don't need a heavy hand of knowledge. She's giving them a soft touch so that they can ingest it. But people are a little aggressive and people fight back. Just like if you had a horse and they're trying to break it. In order to that horse walking downtown, they had to take it through a process. And that's what's going on here. People, you live in your mind more than you damn near live in your world. You know what I'm saying? Your mind is going 24. It even keep you company when you're asleep. So that's where you spend most of your life, most of your brain power, and most of your thinking, your consciousness. So in order to not break your way of thinking, but just understand the world from another perspective, you got to kind of at least seek knowledge. And again, that's what the music was giving you, whether you asked for it or not. You didn't walk around writing letters to the record company saying, please give me more black knowledge. That's not what happened. They did it, and then they put it out. And I think that when they found out exactly what the hell they were saying in the music, they had the meetings with saying, it's enough of that shit. It's over with. You go, whoever else puts something out, get them a chance. And then that's what happened. The music game changed. So the people need to have knowledge, and little shows like this need to be important. And then shows like this is important because how else would you even know that this existed if it didn't come in my algorithm for me and Mr. Black Outrage? So let's get back to the conversation. I'm actually tired of hearing this conversation, so let's move forward and see what this other dude got to say. So it's another dude on here. Again, I don't see his conversation, so we'll see what he got to say
Still
after
spending
the
minutes or
commercial.
even hours?
But look, the funny thing is while they doing their commercial, I'm gonna do one too because I've been talking nonstop and I gotta take me a couple of minutes break. You just gotta show me some love on that real quick, all right? It's not easy doing this work, y'all. So I hit y'all right back. I'm gonna take a 5-minute hitter. Y'all gotta give me a break for this one. All right, y'all, we back at it. We are back at it. I appreciate y'all sticking around with me. We had to take a quick break to bring y'all some more stuff, and we're going to get right back to the conversation. King T said, what did the crazy chick say? She was out there saying some stuff, bro. I'm not going to lie. But we'll get right back to the conversation because I think that Amanda Seals been handling it, and we got a new guy up there. Keep the like button rocking for me. We appreciate it. I see the votes coming in on the live on the poll. And in the poll section right now, the poll is looking at 73% say yes. Amanda Seals is right for being radical. The people are watching the show. They listening to her carry on the message about blackness, excuse me, to a bunch of people that's from LA that look like they're actors. We don't know if they're actors, but they actually are delusional, mental case brainiacs that don't understand what they're doing. And we got to give them some insight on blackness and who black people are, what we built in America, and why reparations and things like that is important. My new movie, which is called Kill a Rapper, it's on Spotify, it's on Tubi right now. It's called Kill a Rapper. That's my movie. I wrote it, directed it, put it together. It's on Tubi right now. You can go watch it right now. It's a dope ass movie. And it's about that reparation stuff, man. I really don't like to tell people that, but it is. But I named it Kill a Rapper because I wanted people to watch it. All right, let's get to the story. And I'll give y'all the whole breakdown on Kill a Rapper, my movie. Kill a Rapper. That's the name of the movie. It's on Tubi right now. That's my movie right now. So this ain't just a filmmaking channel. I ain't just wearing a shirt. You can go see the movie. And I'll actually look it up and put the trailer, put the movie in the comment section so you can actually go get it yourself. But we'll let this dude talk while I look it up. So let him talk it out. Let's see what he got to say. Hit the audio.
Especially based off of personal experiences and everything, that it is just lack of accountability. In the black community, we need to start taking responsibility for our actions and stop pointing our fingers at other people and the white man. Because to be honest,
Why can't both happen at the same time? Both are causes.
Because you gotta clean your own house before
Both
you
are
go
why?
complain. Because if
you're dirtying my house, if you keep
it's
pouring
not-
shit into
no,
my house
it's-
and I'm cleaning it, why can't I do both? Why can't I clean my house and bar the windows from you shitting on my house?
Because it begins with responsibility within us. If we're like,
Yes.
okay, oh, the white person's doing this to me, the white person's not, we're not
But
going
they
to ever
are.
come to the core of the
But
issue.
they are.
We need to take
And it's not
responsibility.
even just the white person, because now we have seen very many races, people of very many backgrounds that are actively participating in the effort to keep a working class down. Like that is absolutely a fact. It's not just white people. So I don't attend to that. But I will say the reality of there being systems in place is real. Over-policing is a real thing. You know what's also been really real is the effort of violence interruption in certain communities, right? So we've seen this in Detroit, we've seen this in New York, we've seen this in Baltimore, where there are communities that have said, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be like a neighborhood watch for our community. So that before the popo even come, before 12 even rolls up in here, we're gonna actually put ourselves in between the conflict and calm it down. And that has been incredibly effective. But you know what? It's not funded. It's not funded. And you would think that like city councils and mayors and governors would say, shit, you know what? This is going to save us so much money. Because why? Taxpayers keep having to pay for the fall of these police officers. And even though we say, well, only a certain number of people have died, that doesn't dispel the fact that a large amount, more black people are imprisoned than any other group in this nation. And that is not by accident.
Again, I started with accountability, and it just seemed like
But I disagree with you.
No,
I mean, I don't disagree with you.
Because here's the thing: look at our media. Look at rap. Look at what we're glorifying.
Right.
We're glorifying violence.
Who's we?
So you could tell by this young man's look that that's where he was headed. He wanted to talk about the rappers. And if you just look at this dude, you could tell he ain't going to fit in with the rappers. They not going to be his friends. He looked like he couldn't fit in with the rappers. So, and me just saying that, not to diss him, but just to say that you're going to be hateful towards your own because you're not a part of that group. You could pinpoint that group and point right at it and know that you don't fit in with that group. That's not your group. That's not the group, but he'll be afraid to say that about the LGBT community. He'd be afraid to say that. No, I'm heterosexual, so I don't like them. Look at how they do. Look at how they do it. You're not gonna do that. So it's natural in people's minds because you see it's happening so much from white people to just point down towards your own culture. You won't point towards nobody else's culture. You won't point down towards nothing else. Your whole lived experience is watching how black people can't be doing something right. And it's crazy. But what if he took his same energy, the same energy he could see where black people ain't doing something right, and he started following inventors? I got my new movie right there in the comment section. Y'all can check that out. What if he started following inventors and started saying, look at all this stuff that young black people have been inventing around America. Look here, somebody invented this, somebody invented that. You will start seeing the beauty in your culture. You will start seeing the beauty in people that's younger than you, people that's older than you, the stuff that people create from their mind or art or something else. But just focusing on rap and the hip hop style of music or art, and that's not even your world. You don't like it anyway. You hate how it sounds. You hate how people do it. But you focus on that. That's your whole ideology of the black race is doing bad. You can't even look at, what about churches? They got people in there singing and doing music. They ain't got nothing to do with no damn rap music. They got great voices. They sing. You got people that got talent that's outside of the hip hop world. And hip hop is only a big cultural phenomenon because the people of the world decided that. It's not like 14 black people said, we're finna take over the universe. Joe, go rap. Man, get in the studio. Junebug, you got your microphone? That's not what happened. The world, every single human, so people in China, people in Asia, people in Europe, people in Africa, they decided that that's the music that was going to be the big shit. It wasn't just, it ain't like black people woke up and was like, let's hold hands and this is going to get the music out to everybody. Hum, y'all, just hum. That ain't what happened. They put the music together, they disseminated it, not black people, white people disseminated it. Then when it got to the other folks, they said, I fuck with this, I like this. So to try to say black people are the reason why fucking music get out to the masses, and black people are the reason why music get out, and black people are the reason why music is loved and the culture's accepted and the cultures want to be a part of it, that's a lie. It's out and liked because people like it. That's just like saying burgers is taking over the world. Man, if we could stop these goddamn burgers, man, I'm going to every McDonald's. I'm finna tell them, no more goddamn burgers. Burgers are big because people buy fucking burgers. They don't even ask questions. They go in stores, they buy burgers, they eat it, they done. It's not even a conversation. It's not illegal. Nobody run up on you. Did you just eat a goddamn burger? Damn, another one ate one. We gotta talk. Nope, nobody do that. It's a fucking burger. So it's the same thing with this. It's just this easy to look at black people and start trying to find a pinpoint of a problem. It's a culture you don't even fucking fit in. By his own admission. Look at rap music. Look at rap music, motherfucker. What's wrong with it? People getting rich off of it. And guess who ain't getting rich like that? Black folks. They not getting rich off music like that. Only a few. And that's the facts. But he won't look at that and say, look at these corporations who's making all the fucking money off rap. Let's talk to them. Let's have an assembly. Instead of a CEO, a group of us, let's get a CEO of a group like this with all the CEOs of the music industry and ask them what's they plan in the next 5 years. He ain't got time like that. That sounds like, well, I ain't gonna come at them. I'm coming at black people because see, that's too much. I ain't talk to them. I'm gonna come at black people. See, that's my concern. Like, get out of here, man. You ain't trying to stop shit. You just don't like niggas and you want to say it the most intellectual way you can say it. So let's get back to the conversation. So I appreciate the poll. I appreciate the likes. Y'all keep rocking with us over here. Let's go.
Who controls who controls the distribution of these sources of media?
And who takes it in? And who takes it in?
Listen, if you're okay, so let me put it in this context. If I have a company, right, and you guys are my employees, and I determine what you get to eat every day, that's also going to determine how you exist in this company, right? Like if you come to work and I say the only thing you can eat is processed foods and fried foods and you're not going to get to have the best vegetables, etc. What's that going to affect? Your health, that's going to affect your ability to operate, etc. This is how the United States operates. There's a lot of us that don't want to admit that as much as accountable as we want to be, all of our brains also don't operate the same way. Some of us are much more apt to be indoctrinated than others. That's a fact. There's a 1% of people that knows this. There's a whole show called Mad Men that's about advertising, etc. And if we don't acknowledge multiple things at the same time, then we simply cannot stop it. We can be as accountable as we want to be. And I hope that if you're right, because I hope you're right, I wish that it was a situation where if black people could just be accountable, then nothing else would matter. But unfortunately, that hasn't been the case because we have seen when we have Black Wall Street in Tulsa and we have Black Wall Street in Durham, that when we actually do hold our own and build our own communities, they will still come and run it down.
Pause. You've been voted out. Please return to your seat.
So again, when she asked him the biggest question of the fucking day, what about the white corporations that run it? He said, what about us that listen to it? His wired, brain wired. Only thing he can see is what black people do. And she asked him an open question. Anybody with fucking time in a grammar school can understand the question. What about the white people who own the corporations? That nigga crossed his eyes and was like, what about the black people? But what about the black people? He can't see anything. His whole fucking psychological makeup is, I hate these black motherfuckers because I can't fit in with them. So you know what? It's these black people. And it's okay because it's a culture of white people that also believe that. So you can fit in one day. They're in the world. You'll find them. You know what I'm saying? They out there. They'll hear you. This is a calling card or an interview. They'll see you and be like, oh, I saw that interview. I saw what you was hitting the right points. Come on in here. You're the kind of guy we need. So you'll fit in. You'll fit in. You might not build your own thing because black people are going to look at you and say, I'm not getting behind somebody who think like that. You will have to just go work. You'll be a worker. And that's really what that mentality is showing you who was the slaves and who was the free people. It's cut and dry. It's not even like hard to fathom. It's right there in your face. Who was the slaves and who was the black people? Who was the free people, if you will? And my movie is right there inside the comment section. Y'all can click that. It'll take you to Tubi. It's free. It's live. You can watch it right now if you want to. Steve O'Sona said, why are they political in the space speaking about rappers? that you see what I'm saying? Like this is who they hate. This is, again, it's not that they don't like rappers. They hate rappers because they represent the opposite of them. In order for me to go fit around Caucasians, they don't want to see me walk up as a rapper in their brain. But me and you both know they would have loved you walking up as a rapper. You know why? Because they'll never meet Lil Wayne. They'll never meet Jay-Z. You can make money from the fact that they believe you're as closest to Jay-Z as they're going to get. So they'll say you can make money from that fact. If you're a brain thinker, if you're a hustler, if you know to come with capitalism like you was taught in America, you'll walk up and say, yeah, I'm the closest thing you can get to a Jay-Z and an Eminem. I went to his concert. I did. What happened? You could even sell your music to them. Why? Because they're open like that. But instead of trying to make money from them and succeed and then go and take it back to your culture and build big ass high rises and businesses, you just want to fit around them. You just want to get you a woman and get snuggled up on next to them and shit and take a little baby nap right on the white lady chest. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not everything. And to be out here spewing it like the rest of us should fucking think that's heaven on earth, it's dumb. It's stupid. A lot of us got other things that we believe in. It's fun. It's exciting. It's black. It's what the fuck I will live for. It's me. It's like, why would I want to give this up to go over to some what? Like I eat seasoning and shit on food, like a lot, like a heavy amount. You know what I'm saying? Like I like that. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine not having food with seasoning. Now, obviously, I gotta stop eating salt so much because that affects you at my age. But seasoning, there's no way I could fucking stop eating seasoning on food. So I could marry a girl or date a girl that don't even know what Laurie's is. Like she don't even use it. Ain't really been a person to using that. We ain't gonna have no long-term friendship or relationship because I'm gonna be like shocked out my mind. Like, hell no, girl, if you don't get your ass out of here. Let me see what the conversation is over here saying. They just put it back as justified as just black on black crime. He said that King T. Willis, Critic say. Tyrone Cleveland said, thank you. I'm going to watch the show as soon as the show is over. I appreciate that. Steve O'Stone said, where are they in black political space? Talking about rappers. Steve O'Stone said, and we have over 50,000 black inventors. And I go back to the point I was telling you about that guy saying, just dissing black people. Like, it's other stuff going on in the black culture that had nothing to do with rap music. And it's stuff that you can highlight or even be a fan of and be happy about that, just like you happy about the dissing of black people. See, we're multicultural. It's multiple things happening. What white people siphon, the word siphon, music from us because it's one big export in America. This is where we stop at the door. We just talk about the artist creating it, but it's also an export, which means it goes across, it hits other countries first. They hit the button, it's in fucking Istanbul. It's hit the button, the shit is in Morocco. They hit the button, the shit is down in the motherfucking Congo or somewhere. So it's an export. So then it also carries culture. So when have you woke up in the morning and heard a Congolese song on the radio? When have you woke up or was running or got in a friend car and heard a Moroccan song? Name the day you was in the elevator and you heard an Istanbul song playing while you was walking in Target. It don't happen. They hear our music. They engulf what we putting down. We don't hear their music. You're not getting with your girl and laying up, bopping to some songs from Senegal. That's not how it works. But they listen to us. They playing Tupac. They know How Do You Want It. They know Jay-Z. They know the artists from here because that's how the country was made up. The ones who they took from Africa. Everybody always wondering whatever happened. Whatever happened. They talk about it in the media about the American dream and all these things. So it's just a psychological understanding that America might have something going on. But if we're suffering in America and we're speaking about it, it shouldn't be so many black people trying to come up against it or even cape for the white culture. Like they don't have enough capes in their fucking movies alone. They got enough heroes in the white culture. You should be learning how to be a hero in the black culture. In my movie, when I got my master's degree in filmmaking, that's what I called my movie, Hero. And it was about a black guy, and it's on YouTube. You can watch it. It's free. It's on YouTube. I made it about a black dude. It's a short film. I made it about a black dude who was basically dealing with his own issues. So he was dealing with alcohol issues, relationship issues. But then he ran into a girl who ran into some dudes, Junebug, Man, and then they got on her, which he had to go and help her and get them up off of her. And that was my movie and shit when I got my master's degree in filmmaking. But it was kind of like this guy wasn't trying to go marry a white lady. This is what I wanted to show, that even though he was like one of them. Like you could say he was a conservative kind of dude in the movie. The character who I play the main character. You can say that he wasn't a hood dude. He wasn't like me. He didn't have dreadlocks. He wasn't like no dude like that. He was just a regular dude. And even the actor used to be a cop in real life. And when he told me that, I was like, perfect. This is a fucking detective movie. This nigga had all the shit. He still had all. I even had to get no props. He had everything. So he was a person like that. So he was able to really put a lot of emphasis into the movie. So then when people saw it, they just believed it. They just believed it. They was like, damn, that nigga did a good, and he did. They was like, he did a good ass job in that movie because that's who he was. He knew how to play that character. But could he do Menace to Society, Old Dog? Probably not. He wouldn't be able to do that. He would seem a little bit off. Something would be missing. He could probably do it, but it'd be something a hint off. You'd be like, oh, wait a minute. Is he from the hood like that? But when you saw a boy Lawrence Tate play that character, it's like, oh my God, scared the shit out of you. It's like, whoa, people would do that? You know what I'm saying? But then his personality, he don't act like that. But he from Chicago. So when you see the movie, it come all the way out. It's like, oh shit, yeah, that nigga, he probably could have did that in real life. Back when we was watching that movie. So let's get back to the conversation, because I could talk to y'all about all this movie shit forever. But we talking black outrage. So we're gonna get right back to it. And this is Amanda Seales talking to a bunch of folks about being black, the blackness, and she's schooling them. And so let me let y'all know what the name of this show is, because we've been talking about it for a long time. It's on a channel called Jubilee. And if you know what Jubilee is, it's like a black word, which is like excitement, music, everything. And that's like one of the first people who made music. Shout out to Steve O'Stoner for rocking with me down in Tennessee when I was learning about this country music. And Black Jubilee was the first people who was making music in America. And the Queen Victoria came over to America to actually see. No, I'm sorry, she took them to Europe and had them perform in front of her. They're from Nashville. These black people called it Jubilee. And so that's crazy that she named her channel after them. But I don't know if this is Amanda Seales' channel. But if it is, that's the name of the channel. And they got 10 million followers, y'all. So you might want to jump over there. It's a lot. This is my first time seeing somebody with 10 million followers that just be talking. I be seeing people like 2, 3. I ain't never seen 10 million. So they going crazy, whoever they are. So let's get back to the conversation. Hit the polls, y'all. We going rocking with this conversation. I don't know who this dude is, but we gonna let him talk if he talking. Commercial, but I ain't gonna go on a commercial this time. I'm staying rocked in. We're just gonna go and pause the sound, let that play. It's a fast one, and then we're gonna rock with it again. All right, flip the camera, and we should be going. Is the audio working yet? All right, here you go.
So I have 2 claims I want to settle. So I'm originally from New Orleans, right? And I've seen black on black crime my whole life, right? Yes. I don't believe it has nothing to deal with the police. It's more with the community because there's a lot of pride that's in that city, where to the point where this person can't tell me nothing. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna take him out.
Yeah.
Is that simple in New Orleans?
Yeah.
Now Cali is probably the same way, but I feel like every state is different. You probably the way how your belief is might be right? But in New Orleans, it's a little different. Also, my second claim is this: we proclaim so much about Black Lives Matter, but when it comes down to a white person killing a black person, it's a big deal. It just don't make no sense to me.
Do you know what the statement Black Lives Matter is actually stating?
Yeah, well, like, just started off from George Floyd.
Start off with Mike Brown.
Mike Brown, okay.
So Black Lives Matter is really simply just stating that when black people are murdered by the police, that our lives should matter. And that oftentimes it is not considered. It is oftentimes presented as we deserved it, or we must have done something to cause it, and that our lives are disposable. We also don't ever see true justice on the same level as others when the police incur violence against black people. So Black Lives Matter is a statement asserting that our lives are worth justice, our lives are worth preservation, and we have seen in innumerable instances a level of restraint operated between the police and people of other races that they do not seem to carry with black people. So that's what Black Lives Matter means. It doesn't mean that anyone else's life doesn't matter. It means that ours matter just as much as their lives.
That's good that you cleared it out for people.
I appreciate you. Now, as it comes to New Orleans, tell me this. Well, first of all, it was, I think it's the senator of Louisiana who literally made a campaign ad, Kennedy it was, that said, do you want Louisiana to be run by crackheads? Like he said that, like straight
they
up.
have a bunch of them there. Yeah.
So here's my question about New Orleans. Would you say that New Orleans gets, that particular areas of New Orleans, for instance, like the Ninth Ward?
The Ninth Ward's crazy, but I'm just saying they crazy.
Would you say that funding and attention is dispersed equally across New Orleans in terms of resources? Because I know that from living through Katrina, that is absolutely not the case.
I agree with you in that case. Everybody's not equal when it comes down to resources. For sure, I agree with you.
Here's the thing I want to just impart is that I think that we have a very distorted version of resiliency and what restorative practice is, because we live in a time where we're seeing so many things happen so fast. So like we've seen technology like advance so fast, right? Like we have seen just our lives shift so fast that I think that we forget that as humans, our ability to recalibrate, to heal from trauma is simply not the same as the things that we are watching in technology. And so
and that's deep as fuck what she said right there. That's crazy deep what she said right there. I really appreciate that point, because it takes me back to a movie, about this movie. And imagine a film, a story, because she's a black woman. And you can imagine the main character of this movie that don't exist yet is a white woman. And she's seeing the injustice. She's seeing families being torn apart. She's seeing real chaotic shit. You could think Erin Brockovich. And then she says, I'm going to take this on myself. I'm going to be the whistleblower. I'm going to be the person that stops this. And then she go out. Like even in the Erin Brockovich case, she started learning law. The girl goes out, she does this research on the old place. She does the research on how it got started. She does the research on who was the founding fathers of it all. And by that research, then she concludes, I can stop this. We could be heroes in this moment. So I don't understand why she's being a hero in this moment. Amanda Seales is being a hero in this moment by taking time out and just training people's brains to understand what's going on, because he's walking around and this young kid just does not know. He can understand it is disproportionate, but he don't understand why the crime is so rampant. He can't see the hustles. Again, I tell my wife all the time, people can see when black people hustle, but you can't see when white people hustle. It's invisible. You don't see when white people hustle. You don't see it. It's invisible. It's like we can't see it. We don't look at it like that. We look at it as normal reality. There's nothing wrong with it, because everybody get a hustle. Everybody got a hustle. But the thing is that if you can see it, then it'll bring more clarity to you to make you even can hustle stronger or more. But the reality is that everybody hustling, even white folks, even when they pop up and say, go to this university, get this money, come on, you're going to learn this stuff, you're going to get this education. Anything they're doing, they're hustling. And you go to the school and then you can't find a job when you graduate. And the white folks like, you still owe the student loan shit. You like, what the fuck? and it hit you in the head later. I got fucking hustled. So you don't get jobs after fucking college? And I'm still owe this fucking money? I got fucking hustled. And then it hit you. That's why it's not a crime to default on loans, because they know they hustling you. But white people don't block each other. So if you're goofy and you fall for it, you fell for it. Still get in line. You educated now. What's the problem? And you like, oh, okay. Okay, you know what? I can move on. But as long as I understood it now, and now you could tell somebody some shit now. They don't mean they're going to listen to you. But that's the idea of what you learn is your knowledge, and she passing that shit down to them so that they can have a little bit more knowledge. You might not be able to fucking gather it all today, but to walk around in your psychological thoughts to thinking that black people is the fucking problem for black people issues is crazy. And just like she said, people can't recalibrate pain all because the cell phone was invented, all because YouTube was invented, all because TikTok got 1 minute videos. You can't just get rid of black pain. You can't just wash that shit away and say everything is over now. Obama the president. Look, it's all fixed now. Well, what the hell happened? Because as far as I'm concerned, he got 400K a damn year. I ain't get shit. And what happened? What happened? Nothing. And that's the same thing. But look at the other cultures. You say what happened? I bet you in the white world, they doing a lot better with Trump involved. I bet you they are. But you can't say that when Biden was in office for black people. You definitely can't say that with Trump in office today. But you can't say it when Biden was in office either. So it's just a continued perpetuation of overlooking black people, overstepping them, moving around them, continuing to keep things continued on. And these other youngsters like them can't see it. They just look at it as like, it's black, see, it's black people. What, just like Shaq asking the question, they move around the question. Anytime you have to confront these people about white people, they move around the question like it's not act. They rather yell at you and argue, but no point and no finger is pointing towards white people because they feel uncomfortable doing that. And they know white people is going to listen to this and watch this, and they're going to cut their ass off. They're going to be like, yeah, I saw your video, and the phone call going to stop coming in. And I'm like, damn, I was cool with Matt. That nigga stopped calling me. What the fuck? They're going to get, it's the uncomfortable feeling of not being able to fit in. But I'm going to let her go ahead and get him some more schooling, y'all. Hit the like button, share the message, buy the shirts, super thanks, super love, all that good stuff. We're over here at Black Outrage, number 45. We're 45 deep, and we got Amanda Sills knocking them down. Let's go.
We cannot just casually think that people just get over things. Trina, people in New Orleans are still reeling from
Katrina. Yeah, they are. That's true. That's true. That's true.
So when we talk about the amount of crime and violence that is still living and happening explicitly, we have to also talk about the amount of trauma, the amount of drug use, the amount of policing, the amount of all of these things that physically harm people across the world, not just in the United States, across the world, in communities that are not being served, and how those communities get the chance to quote unquote pull themselves up by the bootstraps.
Yeah, I agree. I personally agree. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Thanks, Josh.
No problem.
He had baby pushback. He didn't really know how to articulate it all, but he still had a great point talking about his hometown, how to fix it. So that was good for him. Let me know where y'all from. It's going on. We got Amanda Sills in the comment section. They said this a MAGA channel. It sure is, Danny. We MAGA millionaires over here, man. We sure is a MAGA channel. I don't know what bro got to say, but he looked like he got a lot to say, this guy right here. But we got a lot more votes came in. A lot more votes came in. As soon as I say vote, it seems like everybody be like get my vote in there. Hold up, slow up, hold up. I want my vote in. Hit the polls. Let's see what the voting say right now. Okay. Is Amanda Sills right for being a radical? And up 74% of the people say yes, she's right. But they see her handling herself right here. You know, she had a bad rap as far as I thought on the internet, but it looked like she's getting her game together with now. A lot more people seeing her message and her messaging. And that's why I'm grateful for y'all coming over here to check out the channel and check out the conversation, because I thought this would be a good conversation to have, and I wanted us to make sure that we talked about it over here. We got the convo going. So where is the video? Let's get to the video, see what this next guy got to say. He does not look black to me. So I don't know what he's gonna say, what he's even there for, to tell you the truth. I thought this was a black conversation. Unless this is a commercial. This might be a commercial, because this is not even a black person. So we're going to watch this unfold together, y'all. I don't know what he's finna say.
Before we go any further, we want to take a moment to say thanks so much to Sir
Okay,
Aaron.
okay. So he, I about to say, he one of them people that like run a station or something like that. All right, so because that was our show was about to say, what the fuck this dude about to say? Because okay, he run a station. So shout out to that station, Jubilee, and that's what that was all about. Y'all go over there and rock with them, because that's what we getting the content, the conversation about today. So here go another dude that Amanda Seals got going on. I don't know what she's
Stop
gonna
buying
say
courses.
to him. Let me let this dude get out the way real quick. I don't know what they're gonna say. He said this a MAGA channel. That boy crazy. Steve O'Stone said, no, Daniel, we're making America black again. So this a MAGA channel. MABA. All right, let's get to the video.
I feel that way because it's simply just facts. It's in the books, and that's why there have been laws to challenge it. There have been innumerable instances where actual systems were created specifically for the impediment of Black people to advance. We have also seen numerous instances where there were things created for Black people to advance, and they were taken back under the auspices of, we don't want them to advance. Ultimately, systemic racism exists in our institutions on a government level, in our institutions, whether it's prisons or schools, and it is undeniable because they are actively trying to reinstate it right now.
Can you give me an example of one of those systems that you believe perpetuates that cycle of racism? Redlining? Okay.
Yes.
And how does that, like, can you elaborate? Like, how is that affecting the Black community?
Do you know what redlining is?
I know a little bit. I'm not an expert.
Redlining was a system that was created to determine property values, and that said Black people can only live in certain neighborhoods and not in other neighborhoods. And the redlining lowered the property values of those Black neighborhoods by stating that they were more savage, that they were more dangerous, etc. Thus, they were not able to own property that was on a level of par to their white counterparts. There were also many efforts at just simply not allowing Black people to get loans for property, putting them in predatory scenarios where they were being essentially unable to own land. And that inability to own land, but still having to pay out a mortgage, if you will, or a rent, continue to put Black people in a conundrum of not being able to excel at the same economic rate as their white counterparts.
What I'm hearing from you, if I'm hearing correctly, is it feels like in the United States that for a while we've kind of established these systems at their foundation, and they've continued on, and they've continually just oppressed Black people, and we haven't dismantled them, and we haven't done much to them, so they continue to complete the cycle. Is that what I'm hearing correctly?
Well, in many of these systems, they have been dismantled maybe in name, but because this country has never dismantled the culture of racism, they end up still living in practice. So we see that, for instance, in the way that the appraisal system works. Now, we saw there was an entire documentary on how appraisals have been also very racist, home appraisals, right? So your ability to sell your house for the value that it deserves.
Right.
There were enough.
All right, y'all. We can literally talk about this forever. Love the sister. She don't play. I like her too, man. And then Amanda Seals, she showed it up. She showed down. She showed up. She did the thing today, and I'm a real fan of her now. I never really was a fan. I didn't know too much about her before now. But I'm grateful for what she did today, and I'm grateful for everybody who rock with me this deep into the show. But I gotta lock down and finish some show right now because I gotta go do other stuff. We could get into a part 2 of this later on tonight at 7 p.m. because I'll get on here again at 7 p.m. tonight. All you gotta do is leave a comment, let me know 7 p.m. Hit that a couple of times, and if I see that, then I know we can double back on this conversation. And I want to continue the conversation because I'm thinking it's dope. Otherwise, we can move on to something else. Y'all let me know. Y'all the audience members, and that's what we doing this for you. And we appreciate you coming and rocking with us all the way to this then. Okay, 7 p.m. Stoner said, let's do it. So it's on. We rocking. 7 p.m. We got it. It's all I needed was one. Motivation ain't, you don't need that much motivation from me. 1 or 2 and they rocking. So tonight we're going to do a part 2 on this show. 7 p.m. I'm going to let my brain rest for a minute and get into the next phase of my afternoon. I make some business calls. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Y'all the dopest. We got new music coming out. I might premiere my new song. Y'all gonna love it. Excuse me. And then we'll be rocking like that. At the end of this video, you'll see at the top, I'll have the whole playlist where you'll be able to see all the block outrages. You can watch them on a marathon, one back at the other, and one after the other. And also you'll be able to subscribe at the bottom of the video. So I appreciate y'all. Have a great day. I see you tonight, 7 p.m. We right back on this channel. Shout out to Steve O. Stoner too. He always showing love to his music out too. It's called Revolutionary Stoner on all platforms. And that's your homie. Peace.